Hey guys, welcome to another episode of 4PlayerAnimecast. It is episode 288. We are finally heading into the winter 2026 season. I am your co-host Spire, and with me are my compatriots, Dark,
Hello.
Ghost,
What?
and Year.
No.
All right, so it's been a while since we've actually had a full review episode, although this one is going to be again the first sort of like a first impressions episode rather than a full review because only for most series only about 2 episodes, 3 episodes are out currently. So we'll have to kind of play it by ear, obviously again first impressions. But before that, we are going to cover what we've been doing in the past couple of weeks, starting with Nier. What have you been up to?
Um. So Arknights Enfield came out.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Is
Been
it good,
playing some of
Nier?
that. I
I
think it's
heard it's I
pretty
heard
good.
it's like Minecraft.
Um.
No,
Not really.
there's like
It's more like
Factorio.
yeah, it's more like
Okay,
Factorio
Factorio?
or
Alright.
Satisfactory or something like that, mixed with a bit of Genshin. Um. And it's pretty good. The combat feels really good. The
Who's your
characters
favorite
are
Nier?
all pretty cool. I like Levitain, even though I don't have her yet. Um. But yeah.
How's
Yeah,
the
I think it's
gotcha pulls?
gotcha. I mean, I still haven't. It feels it's tricky, right? Because it's like
What are the
the
rates
rates
like?
the rates are like standard as you would expect. Like a 2%, 3% or whatever. But it the way that like the pity works is a bit strange. Um, so it's like I think the way it works, if I'm understanding like entirely, is that like as you roll, um, you have it. You obviously have any chance to get like a 6 star or whatever. But then when you hit, is it 60 or 80? I don't remember. Um, but you hit a certain threshold and you get like a guaranteed 6 star, right? Um, and then that's like
No pity, yeah.
your basic like 50-50. And then I think when it's like when you hit 120, it's like absolute 100% guarantee to get the rate up. Um, and I think the pity like up to the 60 carries over, but I don't think the pity that goes up to the 120 carries over. So it's a bit of an odd system. Um, and I'm not far enough into the game to see how exactly generous the game is with its currency, especially because it's like the game just came out, so it's kind of just like
Or
constantly
also how
showering
much
you
power
with
creep that they do, right?
yeah,
Because the
yeah, of
power creep
course,
also.
yeah, but yeah, I mean the game's fun so far. The story's interesting enough. From what I understand, there's like a lot of nods to like the original Arknights lore. Um,
So wait, is this a
I
sequel or how's this work?
I think it's like distant future spin-off type shit. Um, because it's on like a totally different planet and shit. But yeah, from what I've heard, like there's a lot of references and ties to the original Arknights, but I didn't really play much of the original Arknights, especially not the story, because literally every time a new Arknight story chapter or even an event came out, it was like if you counted like the words, like the word count in like an event, it was like equivalent to like a literal novel. Um, so yeah, I wasn't really sticking with that shit. But yeah, that's been fun so far. On that, sticking with Zenless. Um, yeah, playing mahjong. Been um, been playing Elden Ring, seamless co-op with Dark. That's been pretty fun.
Oh,
But yeah. Other than that, mostly chilling. Yeah.
Hey, pretty good. Thank you very much, Near. What about you, Toast?
Ah, shit.
Past couple of weeks,
Give,
please.
give. I don't know.
Just nothing. Nothing has happened.
Give me a time frame, and I'll tell you.
2 weeks.
I
Two
guess.
weeks,
Yeah,
as a
2
matter
2
of
weeks.
weeks.
fact.
What 2 weeks? Uh,
Yep.
Is this the first podcast of the year?
Ye-
Technically, first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no,
Wow,
it's
it
been more
feels
than
like
2 weeks. It's been
we
a
haven't.
while.
What?
Yeah. Never mind. You're right. It's
Wow,
been a
it
Yeah.
while.
feels like we haven't had a podcast since last year.
Well, actually, that's not true. We did have our
We
awards
did
show.
have.
We just haven't had a
Yeah, our
regular.
awards.
Yeah, we did
one.
have our
Well, then you lied
end
to
of the
me.
year awards. But we
Well,
didn't
I was
have
just saying we
actual
haven't.
proper poll. Yeah.
When's
Yeah.
near? How's the polar vortex? You good?
What are you talking about?
You're not okay. You're not good then.
What?
He
I don't think he's getting
Oh,
hit
you
He's
mean
he's
not.
not
by.
he's not caught inside the storm, right? It's just mainly the United States. Although Canada is probably getting snowed into.
you mean the fucking like the Giga cold front or whatever?
It's
Yeah.
called the polar
Yeah.
vortex. Yes.
Yeah, I mean we've been getting a decent amount of snow, but nothing
How
that
cold has it been for you? Have you hit that
um
-40 yet?
no. No, it was negative like 20 earlier, which is pretty cold, but um yeah,
The
nothing
U.S. is
that's
getting
been
hit
like
by a once in a lifetime winter storm. Yeah, right. It's called 2019.
yeah, like winter storms happen like that every few years, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be
Near's like,
-40. I
how are
got
you
hit with
to the apocalypse?
like
yeah.
-8, so it's like whatever. I'm good.
That's
I want
Fahrenheit.
There's some
-40.
places that are like, yeah, yeah.
Which is
There's
rough.
some places that are just getting hit with like -50 weather or whatever, and
I
it's
want
just like,
-50
yeah,
weather.
those are not real numbers.
I definitely don't want that. I'd rather not have like
I want it.
fucking
How
trees and
are the
power lines
exploding
just
trees near?
exploding. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that fucking the like exploding trees warning. I don't think that's like I don't think like I'm pretty sure the trees don't literally explode. They just like fall over.
yeah,
It's called
they'll
frost crack,
get like
but it's
really
Yeah,
brittle
like
and like crack and stuff. But
they
yeah, they
they'll
do.
pop.
They don't like. They don't
Yeah,
explode out
they
like.
don't literally like shatter into a fucking
For-
like
Here's how you know this.
there
It's
there
not.
is
Tree
That's
bombs.
not real. Because like you would have heard about this. Like this wouldn't be
I
the
mean
there
they
is
first
an
do
time you're
exploding
hearing about
tree.
trees
What's it called?
exploding.
they
Which one?
release like a big pop when it happens. Like they'll pop and then they'll fall over. Typically,
Yeah.
I mean depending on if it's a really short, if it's like not really,
Well, it's like
if
the
the
same
tree
type
doesn't
of
really have any
pop you hear
branches,
if like
it'll
a
probably
tree just
yeah, kind of just
snaps.
like snaps.
Are you
But
sure,
Mhm.
near? Because the dynamite tree is real.
uh-huh. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure, especially because like I've literally had the ground in my fucking backyard like pop and crack open because it's so cold. Like, yeah,
No, I'm talking about this one. This tree.
uh-huh. Yeah, we don't got those. So,
Oh, why not? They look cool.
I don't know. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think that's I don't think they have a lot of those probably in Canada. But anyways,
Uh,
so anything
I
else?
don't know.
Okay,
Did you get
I
your
guess
did you get your auto figure from round one?
I didn't know. I'm planning on going down to
It's gone.
well, I might go down to round one depending because I know they're selling a couple of custom um collabs for like cards and stuff like that, like custom cards. So
What, the Dot the
I might
Don
go down.
collab? Still what?
I think
Oh,
it's
you
a
want the
Chainsaw
Spy
Man
Family stuff?
collab.
Oh, the
Actually,
racing car? That's gone, bro. It's
oh
gone.
yeah, I should have expected it, I guess, right? But
But you know what's still there? The Hollow Life for merch. When I went, it was
yeah, I'm
all
not
there,
going down for that.
and it
I
was.
am
I
not
went on like the
traveling an hour
19th. It was
to
there. And I was
the
like,
round one for the Hololive
"Hey man,
collab
I
one.
got my cool pink magenta shirt and a Suisei keychain, so I'm good. I could have bought
Nice,
everything
nice.
there. I
Okay.
probably should. I probably should have gotten the acrylic, but I didn't. I can go back. Also, I played Initial D. It's all right. It's okay.
Right.
I don't know. Uh, you buy your merch. You buy your Fest merch yet, Spire?
For what? For Hololive?
Yeah, you get the
Oh
the
no,
two-way strap. Why not?
because I don't do Hololive Fest stuff.
You didn't get your Mori Calliope. What is it called? Disaster. Is it called Disaster Face Near?
What? Why are
That
you asking
reminds
me?
me. That reminds me. There's some people still
Yeah,
defending
Disaster
more
Face.
Calliope like
You
stuff,
linked
and it's
her.
just
You
like,
linked
why
her
would you do that?
music earlier.
You're near.
You
Yeah,
linked.
you're near.
Yeah.
Check it
You
out.
linked a clip
Oh,
of
the
her
new.
music. You
Oh,
linked.
is that the album?
There you go. I linked it.
Look,
The
man.
album
Limited edition
is.
fee, only $40.
Isn't the album like Disaster Piece or whatever?
Yeah. Oh, hold on. She
Yeah.
has she has a whole website to herself. Damn.
Wow. Most artists do.
Disaster Piece Limited. More. How do you Morpheus? Oh, Morpheus. Get it? I get it. Get it?
No.
No, me neither.
Like Morpheus
More
from fucking.
Yeah.
from Persona. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is,
Yes, that vote is dream connection.
I listened to that one song that the guy that I think near linked or whatever was like continuous like, oh no, it's
Dude.
actually like that
I mean,
was just like the
Dark and I were talking about it in voice earlier, where it's like the track starts off and her vocals like aren't bad, right? Like
yeah.
they're not the best, but they're not like terrible at all. And
Yeah.
I was kind of like, she should probably do this like kind of singing more often instead of just like her like dog shit rap. But then the instrumentals kick in, and it just becomes this like cacophony of noise that's not even like it's like illegible, and it's just like who mixed this, man? And you were like cool with this? Yeah, it's like it's actually
And then
baffling.
I listened to the other one where the guy was actually trying to justify it, and it was like the instrumental was like
Yeah,
okay,
I didn't hear
but
that.
then
But
the major part that was ruining it was her like rapping, and I'm just like,
yeah,
oh my god, you can't be like, this is a good rapper slash singer if she's negatively contributing to as the only part in the entire song, in the entire composition that's bad.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you
like
can't be
that.
like,
That shit's
this
bad. Like there's plenty of, I mean, there's plenty of rappers that like try to release albums where they also like have singing bits, and it's fucking atrocious. Like,
yeah. It's like the
and
opposite of
like
what
critics
happened with
will
Otto,
call that out.
where it's like yeah. Yeah, it's like the opposite of what happened with Otto, where it's like sometimes, or let's say like recent USB stuff, right? Where it's just like the singer themselves, right? It's quite clearly fine in terms of their vocal performances. It's just that like the stuff around them is not good. But this is like the exact opposite with a lot of Marika Lively stuff where the everything around the part is fine, but their rapping or their singing is not so fine. So,
Yeah,
but
my
anyway.
biggest complaints, not to dwell on it too long, but my biggest complaints from Mori will typically always be like, obviously, like the rapping, mostly realistically, like the lyricism is always like
Mm.
like atrocious. Like, and I mean, I will say,
Yeah.
I've never been, I've never been a fan of um VTuber songs like that for
Yeah,
the
me
most
too.
part, just because it's like I don't like Mori Calliope's like for the most part when she's doing lyricism, primarily because it's like all bullshit, like it's not real. And I think like rapping or like even singing from like the Grim Reaper standpoint is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of cringe to me. So that's just me.
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh,
It's yeah. It's yeah. I don't want to. I don't want to slam it too much, but yeah.
well, I'll still go to a Mori Calliope concert if she comes here.
Mhm.
I'll wear my crony stuff though.
What?
Just saying.
Yeah. Anyways, anything else?
Nia, are you ready for the Moro arc?
The what? And what?
What? You ready for the Galactic Patrol Prisoner Saga?
Uh-huh.
You ready, Nia?
No.
It's coming
Oh,
back,
that
Nia.
reminds me. Yeah, the Pat Labor announcement. Did you see that one here?
Yeah, I did. I think it's fucking really fucking funny that JC staff was like, you know what? One Punch Man, this shit fucking sucks ass. What we're putting our money into is Pat labor. It's like
All right.
But first of all, good choice, but
like I
Yeah, but
would
also,
not have
well,
expected I would not have
bad
expected that,
choice,
but
bad
I
choice
will
for
fucking
most.
take it.
Full
Yeah.
choice
I will
for
absolutely
me.
take it.
But Nia, don't. What is it? What is it called? What's it called?
Pat labor easy.
The Sorcery of Nymph Circe.
What are you talking about?
The second Hathaway
Oh,
movie's coming
the
here.
Hathaway movie?
Oh, the
Yeah.
Hathaway.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, that
yeah,
shit
but
looks
that's
awesome.
not done by JC staff, so
Also, you guys gonna see? You guys ready on February 27th?
for what?
or
Oh, is that
Guys aren't gonna watch the
Musume
movie?
in theater?
Hell yeah!
Yeah, no.
Uh,
I've already seen that
yeah, I'm
movie.
not.
I do
You know
not need
what?
to
I'm
be
I
not.
can
going
watch
to the
it then.
movie theater with Uma Musume fans. I'm okay.
Yeah,
Why?
oh
No,
yeah,
why
yeah,
not?
yeah. That's definitely not happening.
I'll watch it.
Hmm.
You'll hear
going
so
into
I
a
many
don't go
like
to I
theater
don't
first
go to
Asian
theaters
accents.
for
stadium with
anime
fucking
movies like baseline. Just full stop.
yeah,
I'm
just
not seeing
being
anime
in
movies
a
in a theater
being
anymore.
in a stadium with fucking anime fans is just like not a good idea because it's like literally every time you go to one of these things, it's like a complete gamble as to whether you're gonna get some fucking drooling retard in the fucking theater that's just gonna be
Nia,
screaming
you
at
guys can
everything.
show off your umi mama sumis to each other.
Uh-huh.
I also
I
think
don't
Yeah,
care
I
that
could
that.
walk
this
in and I
this
could fucking slap someone's Excel sheet out of their hands and be like, "Play a real fucking game, nerd."
yeah. I also think that for Uma Musume, you're about to hear the most Southeast Asian accents, the most C accents
Yeah.
out of like all the different anime movies that you will be watching in tennis. But anyways, I guess with that,
I don't know.
thanks.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. I
Thank
don't
you
know.
very much, Toast. And moving on to Dark.
Yeah. I've also was it WoW pre-patch came out, so that's been fun. Um I've been watching the new season of Fallout. That's been
Really?
really good. Um I have been keeping up with some anime, the new sequels and stuff have been cool. Other than that, I've also been playing New Arc Knights. It's pretty cool. My gacha luck has been straight ass. I got the free character, their constellation on my first like free like set of pity, which is like really or not pity, but when I got her in general, so my pity reset. So that's annoying. Because there are a lot of other standard 6 stars that I'd like. But the game is fun. It's cool. The combat's really like the combat is slower than some games, but it's still pretty fast. It's just like a lot of shit. It feels like it hits heavier. There's a lot of weight to it, so it's really fun. Yeah, I think it'll fit a decent spot. I kind of got overwhelmed and confused by a lot of the factory stuff, throwing me off, and
Mhm.
I'm not
Oh, okay,
not
okay,
really
okay.
sure if I'm like really fucking with it that much. Like I kind of wish that the blueprint system also was like, you know what? You can press a button and you'll get a base that at least works. And I'd be like, awesome, phenomenal. I'll come back to this later. But yeah, so that's kind of been a bit of a downer for me, but I'll chip away at it slowly but surely, I think.
Okay. Pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah, and
Anything
then
else?
oh yeah. Like Nier said, we played the Elden Ring Seamless Co-op mod, but with the Elden Ring Reforged mod as well. That
Yeah.
mod is kind of literally just like, hey, what if Elden Ring was just like better though? What if it had like cooler features and like more reasons to explore? And like a little collectathon thing in it too that gets you like buffs and stuff. It's been pretty cool. Been very, very
Okay.
fun. I would highly recommend anyone who likes Elden Ring play that mod because it'll give you a lot of really cool, like, different ways to play.
Pretty good then. Obviously good. So, I guess kind of pretty much running through all like the different RPGs, but anything else beyond anything outside of that?
Oh yeah. Last but not least, the most important VTuber news of Kizuna Ai being in Fortnite. So that is
Yeah,
Wasn't
a thing that
I heard
happened.
finally he joins Thanos into the world of
What I
Fortnite.
thought it was The Office right now.
Well, yeah. So The
What?
Office is also back in now. They just added Michael Scott and Dwight,
Wait,
Did,
is
did
that
which
they
is
have
that's
also
real?
crazy.
did
Yeah,
they
no,
have
that's
Asian
real. That
Jim
was
yet?
real. No, they did not add Asian Jim. They should add Jim, and then they should have a transformation emote where he turns into Asian Jim though.
True.
That would
Mhm.
be something.
Who's the other Michael Scott costume? Date Mike?
Uh
Yeah.
yes, yeah, it's Date Mike.
I what?
It's
No, not
the
Prison Mike.
glasses. No, it didn't have Prison Mike. Prison Mike would have been really good. I was hoping for Prison Mike or the Scranton Strangler. That would have been really good
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But yeah, so like that has been a really insane crossover, and that's been very fun to see too. Um, yeah, Fortnite's been cool. This season got better once they removed the self revive shit. It got a lot better. 'Cause that stuff was a big fucking mistake. But they recognized it less than halfway through the season, so that was a plus. And then yeah, other than that, yeah, just more gaming stuff all around, and look forward to apparently Fortnite getting over 100 gaming Legends crossovers this year and yearly. So enjoy that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, don't know what they're gonna do, but they're gonna be doing a lot of cross promotion stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna be crossing over with like literally fucking nothing. Like fucking
Yeah, stuff you buy on their thing. They're crossing over a Crimson Desert, which comes out in March.
wow.
Yeah,
Huge
be a Viking guy.
huge cultural
The
impact
cultural
from
zeitgeist
that.
of
Yeah.
Crimson Desert. I'm excited for that game. Right?
I mean,
Hopefully
I am
it
too,
runs.
but
It ran at
like,
PAX. Hopefully it runs for real on my
it
computer.
really just looks like fucking like it's the most like unreal slop looking game you can imagine. Like I know it is. I know it's using like a proprietary engine, and yet somehow it looks like exactly like an Unreal Engine game would look. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, thank you very much, Dark. And I guess that's all going over. I think I've, at least in the past couple of weeks, I have had the least amount of like gaming and doing, anime related stuff that I've had in a while, which is a very drastic contrast from the weeks beforehand because the weeks before those, I was uh, also just coming out of my trip from Japan, where I was at Comic Con and doing all sorts of stuff. But after coming back, I've been pretty much in the thick of it. Obviously, just getting back to work, and
And everybody
also I
knows.
managed to, um, and I've been getting a certification for in preparation for trying to not be in this job, but just doing that, kind of running around. Also, in past couple of days, preparing for the winter storm that is about to come. Apparently, we've had like everybody's been running, the usual betting pools on whether it's going to be 6 inches of snow or 20 million inches of snow or whatever it is. But we'll see. It actually hasn't snowed yet where I am, but hoping it's not way too much. But other than that, I haven't been up to too much. It's mostly been all the horse girls, every horse girl for me. Just grinding through that. Although for me, it's just like a regular kind of thing now, and not really like, wow, I'm playing like the games or whatever it is. It's just like doing dailies and so on. But other than that, not too much. So, all right. And with that, we should probably start off. Starting off with our guest Stark. What do you have for us?
Boy, I got a pretty interesting one, I think. Surprisingly so. I really
Really?
did
Oh, okay.
not think that this was gonna that this would be that sort. I have Mao no Musume wa Yasashiru.
Yeah. The Demon
Yasashi.
King's daughter, Yasashi Sugiru. Yeah.
The Demon King's daughter is too kind. Um,
Hmm.
this is this is being done by Studio EMT. The original.
Okay.
It is a sort of like slice of life, semi-comedy type, kind of hard to explain. But yeah, so yes, yeah, the mall premise seems fun. So this is Demon King Ariman has a problem. His daughter Do loves everyone. Consequently, Ariman had to halt his invasion of the world in the worry that his daughter's behavior is not one befitting of a demon. He loves making friends, helping others, and bringing happiness to all creatures, including their. Armin, however, congratulates Du for her good deeds instead of scolding her. With the help of his aide Jahi, who is assigned as Du's master, the two try to rid her of her kind-hearted nature, so that the Demon King's daughter goes from a cute, adorable girl to an inhuman, cruel, and twisted demon. Yeah, so basically, like, the series opens up where Armin is like just a conventional demon lord, but he basically won already. There's like no hero or anything like that. So they've won, they've
Okay. Okay.
dominated most of the world. Um, they have taken like there's like they have human slaves, but not every human is a slave. Some are just villages, but demons still sack those villages and stuff. Um, and yeah, so it's just like not a good time, not a good time to be a human. Um, but then yeah, so Armin cancels his sort of plans for world domination to try to get to be more of a demon, but he is like a pretty stereotypical role, I feel like, at this point for Akio Otsuka, who's voicing him. Because he is the
Hmm.
like doting father, grandfather type like character at this point.
Right. Right. Right.
A lot of his comedy bits come in with him spoiling Do or like congratulating her and then making like items for it's sort of like there's a kind of like an episodic gag with him where he like keeps trying to make these like powerful magic items to give to her, and they wind up backfiring in like a series of different ways. Like in one episode he tries to give her a what would you call it, this like powder that mind controls someone, and
Mm-hmm.
and they'll listen to commands. And so he initially tests it on Jahi, but then they both wind up getting roped into like helping this human village because Jahi's like the dust doesn't wear off on her. And then naturally Do wants to help this village out. But then when the villagers ask Jahi, like make a request of her, she has to obey it. So there's a lot of stuff like that happens where, they kind of like turn this
I see.
like magic demon relic on its head.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
yeah, I would
So
say another
is it like an episodic kind of thing? Like
yes,
because she's
it's
like just
very
kind of
yeah,
being
it's
given.
very episodic. There's like some minor like carry through of like characters and stuff that get added to the cast and everything. Um but ultimately it is a very sort of episodic thing. I'm trying to think of how I would describe one of the other like main sort of through lines of it. where it kind of like it has a lot of sort of like tragic backstory with like the humans and stuff, and it lays it on like super thick. And then like Dew comes in and sort of like brightens up their life or their day, so to speak. And I
Yes,
don't know
yes.
how to, I don't know what you would call that, right? Because it's kind of like a really sort of cheesy, indulgent, I feel like, what would you call it, theme or something like that?
Mm.
Right? Like I don't know, I don't know exactly how to describe that, whether it be a theme or just a through line or something. Um, but you get a lot of that, right? So the first is it one of the episodes essentially has like an old woman who can't stand, like she is paralyzed, right? Or rather like her legs like give out easily, like she's got weak legs. And Dew finds out that because of this, like she's got to sell her shop. She might move or something like that.
Mhm.
And so Dew winds up healing her, her shop. She can keep running her shop. There's another point where this same person, there's a backstory where she was like she's teaching Dew how to like crochet these dolls that are like in the cover art here. But then she has all these other stuffed animals that she made for other people. Uh, but then it was like, then it shows you a flashback where it was she was making these stuffed animals for people who had passed on, or like in their like on
Well,
their
okay.
like deathbeds or something. um and then and then there was something like she made them, and like I think they buried like either her husband's father with them or something with one of them. But then they're like, and then
Okay.
also, by the way, like her whole fucking family and kids died in a landslide too. So she makes
What?
like, so she still makes stuffed animals. And it's this like
So it's
long
this
scene.
weird thing where
It's like
it goes in
layering
like
on like tragedies, and then they're like,
yeah.
but now here's like Dew to be cute and like sort of give them purpose through like these tragic
It's almost like
backstories.
it's almost like one of those like journey series, again like something like Imagine no Tabi Tabi, where it's like the basic like premise is like cute or like the characters are cute, but then every time like they visit somebody, right? It's like we have all this story suddenly, like this village has a story, blah blah blah, and you're like, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's kind of like that.
It's like it's yeah, it's these things that are like meant to literally be like super indulgent, tug at your heartstrings. Then you get like a really
Right,
cute
right.
scene with Dew, and then we move on. Or like that's the sort of
Yeah,
episodic
yeah, yeah.
nature we're going through. And it's usually resolved in a pretty like silly or like slapstick Deus Ex Machina type magic way. In the
Mm,
case of the old woman with the stuffed animals, she was gonna like give them away, but Dew winds up using like some sort of magic to basically give them life, like
mhm,
Sugurumi style or however whatever those called. Um, yeah, and so that's kind of like the way a lot of episodes go.
mm.
One of the other
Does it
major
does she ever take like actions? Although obviously it's only been like a couple of episodes, right?
do
But does it feel like
oh
there will be
100%. She
you
is the one that resolves everything.
well
And
what I
she's
meant is
winding
that
up like improving like human lives, and then sort of I feel like in some ways like also sort of kind of twisting Jahi and Adiman, the demon lord, their sort of perspectives too, where they're kind of just like, okay,
mm,
sure, why not? Like at one point, there's one part of an episode where she's learning magic, and she is not good at sort of like any type of magic except for making ice and snow. And
mm,
it like foreshadowed earlier on that like they have this like slave mining camp or something for the humans,
mm,
and it's like persistently like brutally hot. And so
right.
Do winds up like creating like a snow thing and like cooling down everything and stuff like that. But so it's weird where I'm like, it's weird because on one hand it's like, okay, cool, but on the other hand, these are still human slaves. So I think you guys should probably be like
Yeah, I
overthrown
mean
and
that
killed.
part. Yeah,
So
that
like
part is like very,
mm,
it's the usual
we're
Japanese
gonna
thing
have
where
to
it's
take
like,
a
oh,
we're gonna
by
have
the
to
way,
take a lot
slave
of
trade.
steps to get to like a point where Do is, you know, kind of making things right in a way. It's like, okay, maybe they'll have a change of heart,
Yeah.
but it's like I
I
am
mean, this is like the
watching
same thing
demons
as the isekai stuff,
beat
right?
someone.
So
So like
they're like, I'm a really kind slave owner to these dark elves. It's like
they're
that sort of
not. They're
isekai
not
thing.
though. They're not. Like that's why
Yeah.
I'm saying like there are like other demon guards that like beat the shit out of them and it's like
Yeah.
okay, like that's kind of crazy. Sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, so either way, that's kind of like basic premise. I would say what's layered on top of that too is the fact that Do is voiced by Misaki Kuno.
Yes, the
Yeah,
kindergartner herself.
yeah. So Misaki Kuno, if you don't know who that is, you're insane. Watch things. She's the
Yeah,
voice
if
of
you've
Fabrika
like
Nein
if you've
Abyss.
heard of like a very young voice, like young kind of like lolly voice or like kindergartner level voice, chances are she has probably voiced that role.
Yeah. And now she has a decent amount of range, but she is very much doing the. I guess she's technically she's doing even something like as recent as uh Maou no Hitorigoto. The Apothecary Diaries. There you go. She's
Oh,
Xiaolan.
yes.
She's like the side friend.
Hmm.
And so so it's the same sort of voice. Well, oh yeah, I mean she's Ichihara Nina in Idol Master.
Yes.
So yeah, so you'll like recognize the voice immediately. And so on each episode too, which interestingly enough, there's usually like some corny, like cheesy, what would you call it? Like children's like song that she sings too.
Oh,
Episodically
really?
too.
Okay.
Episode specific. Yes.
Nice.
It's just it's literally just overindulging with Misaki Kuno. They're like, we got her, we may as well
Yes.
like, you know.
Get all the juice, squeeze
Yeah,
everything.
we're juicing this as much as we can.
Can I
Yeah,
also ask
so
a
it's
real quick
fun.
question while
It
you're
is very fun
before
though.
you go through yeah, before
Yeah.
you go through like the other like aspects of the anime, like audio visuals and so on. But in terms of the story, just like one last thing, is most of the focus on kind of keeping to this not slapstick rhythm, but this like comedic, kind of more not comedic, but I guess it's like more relaxing, um, like back and forth rhythm and focusing on like the individual stories of like the people she's trying to save, and then kind of obviously the helps out their troubles, and it's that sort of like rhythm, or is it a little bit more focused on um kind of how Do or like are there bits and pieces of like how Do is like trying to interact and like respond to people and like her thought processes potentially foreshadowing something like near the end of the season, right? Something like Do has some changes to her character or something like that. Is that sort of like character development? Do you think it is in the works potentially with some sort of amount of like foreshadowing here and there, or is it mostly just like, oh, Do is helping this person, Do is helping that person kind of business?
Yeah, no. It's much more focused on that. It's much more focused on I feel like Do potentially changing people around her rather than like her having much like character development.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because as far as like character development, like
Mm.
I don't think there's really much to develop with Do, right?
Okay. I see.
Like considering her nature, I feel like she's kind of like at the end of like what you would do, like, and they're not going to turn around and be like, well, now she's evil or something, or
Mhm.
she's growing cynical or something like that.
Okay. I see.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's more so about her changing others, than her.
Yeah, because it's like those two can have like relatively different like story outcomes or story dilemmas. So that was just like one thing I wanted to ask. But
Yeah,
okay, okay, pretty good. All right, sorry for the tangent. But anything
yeah,
else
but
on in terms of
it's
like
fun enough.
yeah, okay,
Oh no, yeah, I
like
just
audio
think
visuals, I
one of the
guess.
major highlights with that is like I said, it is mainly the cast. The even the ED is like a somewhat like sing along like type thing of Jahi, Do, and Aramin. So you do get
Yep.
Akio, Otsuka, do it performing that as well, which is very fun. So I think like that's another big highlight of all this. The audio visuals, like I said, this is EMT squared, so it's not like terrible.
Mhm.
They're not like I would say this is probably one of EMT squared's most recent, pretty good looking, uh, series, to be honest. Because like, I mean, I'm trying to look back and see what they've done like super recently.
Yankee Squared has been. I mean, they're not necessarily prolific, but they've done a decent amount of the stuff over the years. So,
Yeah, but like the problem is like I would say like Shumatsu Train was one of their
oh,
better
the
looking
Catch Me at the
things, and that
Ballpark
was
is the last
great.
one
Yeah, Catching at the
we like
Ballpark
reviewed. Yeah.
was not hot visually, I feel like.
Most of part of
It was
Witch's
like
death was
fine.
okay, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean like I
Oh,
said, like they have their moments, but they're pretty like inconsistent, I would say, more than
yes.
anything. I mean, even if you look at something like Kuma Bear, like season 1 was very solid. Season 2 was like was a downgrade visually, frankly.
Yeah. I
Looked
think
very
they're also
different.
probably a little bit dependent on their budget as well, because some of these are very niche series. So,
Yeah, so they bounce back and forth.
yeah.
But this however has been looking this is pretty decent. This is a solid look. Um
Pretty good.
the just in general obviously, but also I think the style adaptation. The manga from what I could tell
Right.
had a pretty different style than this, but I think this
Hmm.
they like adapted and did its own thing pretty nicely. You know, there are a lot of people with like these sort of like broader nose bridges and everything, and then some characters that like don't even them like Do does not even they don't even show a nose. They just have like a blush shading for more like childish characters, and then like more serious characters have that full broader nose and whatnot.
Okay. I see.
But I think I think they did a pretty good job as far as that goes. And then yeah, like audio, it's just fine. But props to them. Again, props to them for having like sort of the Misaki Kuno sing like
Yeah.
sing along episodes episodically, which has
I think
been
that pairing of like
enjoyable.
Misaki Kuno, the trio that I saw again of like Misaki Kuno doing the daughter, what is it? Who was it? Oh, Ohashi
Oh,
Ayaka,
Ahashi Ayaka
who does
doing
like what?
Jahi,
Yeah,
the mentor.
yeah,
Yeah.
she does like a very energetic. For those of you who don't know, Oahi tends to do a lot of these like kind of JK, Joshikose, like a schoolgirl, energetic, kind of like almost leaning into ghetto like style of girls a lot, energetic, kind of outgoing, characters. She does, I think, some of the kind of main four leading roles in both the Idolmaster Cinderella girls as well as Bang Dream. So that was a good fit, and then obviously the father being Otsuka Akio, that sort of casting was very well done, I think.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So yeah, like I said, that's all been very fun.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
like I said,
Okay.
yeah, the OPD
So
are fine. They're fun. They're like
mm,
good. they're not going to be winning any awards this year, but like for the type of show it is, it's pretty enjoyable. I don't know. I don't really think there's really that much to say. I think the biggest thing about this series, or where it is sort of the, I don't really know what you would call it, whether it be because you can't call it like, you can't really call it like tragedy porn or anything, right? Because like the indulgence isn't the tragedy. Like the indulgence comes in the form of being like, what if this like person had this really tragic backstory, but this like cute little demon actually like fixed everything as much as they could, given the
Right.
circumstances. And like that's kind of like the super indulgent part. So I don't, I really wouldn't know what to paint it in like a broad brush.
Yeah.
But it's very enjoyable for that.
Okay. What would you rate it?
I would give it probably like a strong 6. You know, I wouldn't say like I think this is one to check out more so than not if it's something that would interest you this season. But I don't know if I would necessarily say that this is something that I would tell like anyone to check out like at any point in time. Like I feel like maybe a
This is
7
not
would
like
be a
a
little too
great like
high.
must watch of the season.
Yeah, like a 7's a little high, I feel like. It's like it's a mall 7.24. And I would say that's a fair mall rating. But my true rating would be like a 6, 6.5 maybe. But it's definitely
Okay.
good for that. If you like those types of series, if you want just like a easy like, you know, something that's gonna like tug at your heartstrings a little bit, and then just like have this cute bullshit on screen, and you want like an easy watch like that, just something to really like unwind with, I think this is a solid series to do that with.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dark. Again, Dark just covered Mao no Musume wa Yasugiru, also known as The Demon King's Daughter's Too Kind. I believe the abbreviation in Japanese is MaoMusu, but yeah, done by EMT Squared. Original was a manga original, obviously got adapted into this anime for the Winter 2026 season. Has great casting, voice acting, casting, and the overall kind of flow of it, right, is it has its sort of like suddenly like random tragic background exposition kind of stuff, but overall pretty um I want to say lighter hearted flow, right? So overall pretty enjoyable, so please do check it out if you have the time.
Speaking of
All right.
Mao,
Yes. I have something that is also for based around non-humans.
oh, I
My
thought I was
series.
going next. I wanted to do the segue. No?
Sorry. Um, but my series here is Jingai Kyoushitsu no Ningengirai Kyoshi, also known as A Misanthrope Teaches a Class for Demi-Humans. Um, so this is a light novel
Is this the
original.
one with
This light novel.
like the big centaur wiener or no? Is that no, that's a different series.
No, that's a different series. What? Okay.
What is it?
So let me go on. This light novel original is by Kurusu Natsume. So Kurusu Natsume is not actually the person's like real name. It is actually the name of a VTuber within the Nijisanji agency.
Oh yeah,
So
it's this series. Okay.
yes, yes. So she actually wrote this light novel original. It was quite a surprise when she announced it, like on her stream and stuff like that. But it did become a small. It did have like pop up in like a small viral kind of way for a little bit. Obviously, it got the anime adaptation, but it did go hot for a little while, but it did get this anime, which I am reviewing right now. So this anime was adapted by As Reach Studio. So if you guys don't know what As Reach Studio is, they were the prime contractors on some older series like Shuffle, Mirai Nikki, Big Order, and Gare Zero. So if you guys don't know what those are, it means I am too old. and but yeah, they did a lot of these. They were the prime contractors on a lot of those series, heading the anime production. And more recently, they headed the production on Arifureta. So they've done like a lot of fancy isekai kind of stuff. So within those, for this series, we have director Iwanaga Akira. So Iwanaga has been sort of an old head at Asread, done a lot of their like episode direction, storyboarding, so on. And most recently, he did help direct Arifureta with Asread. So for this anime, he actually brought back the old Arifureta team and added a couple of quite experienced additions. So pretty solid veteran team overall. In terms of the voice acting cast, it's very interesting because this is one of the rare casts where it's not like the biggest series, right? It's not like the series with the most money, but this cast is entirely pretty much composed of veterans. So every name you see on here, Naganawa Maria, Tanabe Rui, Onishi Saori, Amamiya Sora, Kaya no Ai, so on, Inoue Kazuhiko, like they are all either very experienced, very prolific, like veterans, just all like names that you would probably recognize down the cast. Again, for instance, Inoue Kazuhiko, right?
Damn, they
Has
got that
done
Niji Sanji money, huh?
probably Inoue Kazuhiko has done Kakashi in Naruto, for example. So even I think
Never
the
heard of him.
quote unquote yeah, the roots. Uh, I think even the least experienced one is actually Inoue Honoka, who is probably one of the younger ones here. Inoue Honoka is actually the daughter of Inoue Kikuko. Inoue Kikuko, the
Who's that?
famous voice actress known for doing a lot of like very motherly sounding roles, right? And she actually does in this series, Inoue Honoka actually uh, voice acts alongside her mother, Inoue Kiko. So they are actually in the same cast together for this anime, which is, I think, usually very rare occurrences. I think the only other main example in the Japanese voice acting industry is probably actually Otsuka Akio. And because he used to do a couple of voice acting roles alongside his father, Otsuka Chikao, before he passed
But he
away.
hates his father.
No, yeah, he used to dislike him, but then obviously again,
Don't you remember
later.
back in Metal Gear Solid 4 when
Oh,
when Snake was talking to Big Boss?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That was
yeah,
a
yeah.
whole meta thing with Akio Otsuka talking to his father.
Yeah, yeah. So apparently, yeah, that is actually a thing. What Toast Gordon, he did not necessarily super enjoy, being with his father during, especially during work stuff. But later on, apparently, he did gain back a lot more like sympathy and respect, and like especially after his father's passing. But yeah, so these sorts of like parent children interactions in the voice acting industry is quite rare, but this is one of them. Um, but yeah, it's pretty much all veterans all the way down. So very interesting that they managed to get this very heavy veteran cast for this, but obviously the voice actors all do work quite well. So um going on to the opening ending here. So opening theme is Ningen, also human, obviously
Hey,
translated by
Can't be
Oishi
saying that, man.
Masayoshi. Yeah,
you know who
Ningen.
else is a Ningen? Get it? Get it?
Wait, who?
See,
Oishi
this is why I should
Masayoshi.
have gone. This is why I should have gone next, and then you should have gone before Near. We could have had a
Huh?
fantastic segue.
Wait for what?
You just said Ningen. Near, he doesn't get it. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'll explain it during my section.
Okay. Um, but uh, Oishi Masayoshi did Ningen here, and this is a pretty classic, I want to say, like A grade Oishi Masayoshi composition slash song. Maybe I think it does lack some of the punch that his best songs have. partly due to kind of the forced faster BPM that's required in the opening, as well as like the lyrics that he kind of has to do. I think he has a lot more like information density and a lot more syllables in his lyrics than some of his other songs, which makes the song a little bit less kind of weighty, I want to say. It does get better during the refrain where he slows it down with a lot. He slows down a lot and he's able to kind of almost swing, right? Almost jazz style, right? Um, and he also brings in sort of this like chorus with the reverb, almost like a church hymnal vibe, similar to how he brought that sort of stuff in for Universe, which is the song for that he did for the Gridman Universe movie. But overall, pretty decent. I think still beats most openings in this day and age. The storyboard itself for the opening is very standard and mediocre. There's nothing really to write a home about. The ending is Ningen Come True by the voice actress cast of like the main four like girls um, in the anime. So that'll be Amamiya Sora, Oni Saori, Nagana Maria, and Tanabe Rui, who voiced those girls. So I want to say that
which one's the horse girls? Wait, is there a horse girl in this series?
there is no horse girl in this series,
What?
but
Believe it or not.
yes. But anyways, so this is I want to say, despite some of the issues with like the animation quality and how they're kind of being very ghetto with some of these things, as Dark knows because I did post it, it is still overall a better song and storyboard than a decent number of anime openings these days. So it is quite high energy. And the storyboard design itself is kind of reminiscent of what you might see from like an early 2010s like Silverlink slice of life rom-com anime. Um, again, I want to say the animation quality is a little bit suspect, but the overall I want to say design and the song itself is slightly. It's very again, it could serve as an opening for some other anime. To be honest, it's very high energy. So yeah, that's the opening ending. In terms of the audio visuals, the static character models that they show are okay, but the animations obviously leave something to be desired. Again, they do get away with it a decent amount because this is a slice of life series. Most of them are kind of just like quietly eating or quietly walking around or just talking a little bit back and forth. And it's not like there are a lot of action scenes or whatever it is. So they do get away with it, but it's still not like super well like animated or whatever it is, right? There's also a lot in terms of like the audio stuff. There's a lot of screen time with no BGM. And when there is BGM, is very minimal and nondescript. Like if you focus in on listen to it, you're like, oh, this is a very standard kind of like school. It's like something that you would hear in a visual novel if you um get into like a scene with like a school academy, right? Those sorts of like very standard school academy BGM vibes in like say a rom-com visual novel. So it's like that. So very nondescript. So finally, moving on to the story. Um, the story, I guess, pe- um, you have the teacher. You have this teacher, or I guess the main character of the story, named Hitomore. So Hitomore is due to some problems he had in the past. He says he doesn't like humans. He doesn't like interacting with humans. But um, he's like trying to apply for different jobs as like a teacher or um despite having problems in the past, right? And he finally finds a job teaching not at a human school but a school for non-humans. And this is an all girls school for non-humans, and so all the girls are like demi-humans, whatever, stuff like that, right? And the four main girls that he's teaching is one, Usami Sui, a sort of rabbit girl, right? Essentially, when we talk about these like animal girls, it's like the very standard kind of Japanese. They have like the animal ears and stuff like that, right? But for the most part, they are mostly human. It's not like a furry situation.
I don't know, Spire. This lineup sounds a lot like the lineup for Orc Massage.
Yeah.
Is there an elf though? Is there an elf?
Uh, I don't believe there is an
Damn,
elf.
missing out.
Yeah, but there is Yuki Onna, but there is no elf here yet. But
Close
they
enough.
have they have a werewolf girl, a wolf girl, I guess. Again, with the ears mostly. They have a mermaid, and they have a bird girl slash harpy, whatever you want to call it, right? So,
Hmm.
and then the rest of like the series is kind of what is this? So they want to become essentially these girls want to learn about human culture, get used to it, and sort of quote unquote become full-fledged human beings, right? So they want to be able to blend into human society properly. And the job of Hitomare is to teach them about human culture, right?
Is this why there's no centaurs? Because centaurs can't blend in that easily.
Maybe, probably.
Is this why the cast of freaks is pretty mild and not any cool ones yet?
Yeah, I would probably say that, and it's probably the characters that the artist kind of just
Hmm.
wanted there. That's like the easiest kind of fruit to
Wait,
pick,
wait.
the lowest hanging fruit.
The harpy chick doesn't have harpy feet.
Yeah, it's a little
Hmm.
bit. I'll get into it because it is a good point that you bring up actually. Better point than some people might think initially because it gets into this thing that I want to not conflict, but it is kind of what I want to talk about with regards to evaluating the series. But yeah, so the rest of this is like kind of episodic um episodes about the teacher, how do I say this? The teacher interacting with each of the students and kind of like going through the problems with them, going through some stuff about human culture and some stuff about maybe a little bit here and there about like the animal trivia or the monster trivia or whatever, right? Um but here is the point. So for those of you who were born more than 1 year ago, right? Um, a, a lot of you will draw comparisons to one, the Monster Musume anime, right? And the other one is I think something a little bit more similar, interviews with demi-humans, right? Interviews with
Oh,
monster girls or whatever it is, right?
I thought you were gonna say
Um
interspecies reviewers. Fire. Make sure you be careful.
Holy yeah, that's a good reference. Yeah, I wouldn't say that. That would be hilarious though if that was if it was closer to that. But what is it? Is Demi-Tan wa Kataritai, right? Interviews with monster girls as well as Monster Musume, and you'll make kind of references back and forth with that. And that's a very reasonable assumption to make. This series does not really focus on the Monster Girl aspects of it. Like the Monster Girl trivia is very sparse and in between, a few in between. It's like maybe 10%, maybe 20% of the screen time of the series when they're talking about stuff. Like 80% of this is trying to go over the problems, the trauma that like or the backstory rather, not necessarily like super trauma or anything like that, um, of each of the girls that are in this series and doing this like back and forth on like, hey, why do you want to become this fully fledged human exactly? And the guy kind of going back and forth with them, the main protagonist, the teacher going back and forth with them, and obviously the teacher eventually taking the steps to slowly get past his own trauma as well. And my thoughts on it is like a couple points. First, it's like, well, okay, let me put this not not something that's included in these points, like an overview. My personal view of this series is that the author Natsume Kurusu had like kind of generally knew what people want from on a surface level, right? From a Monster Girl related series and made this initial kind of outline for these like like Monster Girls, and then the guy comes in and he's like, "Oh man, Monster Girls," and then he has to like interact with them. But beyond this like very surface level design that this author had, I don't think she did a very good job in terms of like actually thinking through what people wanted from this sort of series and
Yeah, I
kind of
want. Yeah,
aim
like,
towards that.
just saying, man. If you're gonna make monster girls, you got to make them freaks. Give us
Yeah,
people like the
and
real people like Kenko Cross for a reason. People like
yeah,
was
yeah,
it
like part of the Monster
what's it
Girl,
called?
part of a lot of the charm of a Monster
Monster
Girl
Girl
series is
Encyclopedia. What's the
yes, 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 yes,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, that's part of it, right? For instance, like as you mentioned, one major thing about people want from like a Monster Girl related series is a lot of different Monster Girls, right? It's not just like oh Harpy and then that's it, right? They want all these like different like see um Sealies or I forget what the seal
Scylla,
like girl was.
Scylla,
Selkies or yeah, Selkies,
Selkie.
and
Okay,
then like succubus, maybe the like the plant girls or whatever. Like a lot of
Dryads.
these like
Hell yeah.
yeah, like Spider Girls, whatever, all these like different like Monster Girls, right? That's one of the charms of having these sort of Monster Girl series. And then also being able to talk about like Monster Girl related trivia, right? Which this series has very little of, and then makes
What?
you wonder like, okay, like why like is there really a reason to do this Monster Girl thing beyond like again this sort of like initial surface level outline of like, oh, otakus like Monster Girls, right? Like, but if you don't go into the actual Monster Girl trivia, it's like it's very meaningless, right? So it's this like continual running theme of this author kind of knowing on the surface level what otaku's like, but not being able to really dig in and give the value that might satisfy a lot of these otakus that want this Monster Girl series. Um,
Is this her
and
first series?
I think this is her first series, yeah.
Well, then
Um,
I guess that's forgivable if she wants to play it safe for the first one. It's kind of like
I'm just wondering, is it playing it safe? Because I would think like if you're playing it safe, you would do something a little bit more akin to Monster Musume, right? Where you're
it's
just doing the
no,
monster of the day and
it's
doing
kind of like doing the redo. It's going the redo of Healer into the Assassin Reincarnation pipeline. That's the same author, right?
Um, I for I think I forget. Sorry, I'm like bad with this, but yeah, it's very like weird because it's like I feel like she picks again the very surface level like low hanging fruits, but then most of the story right ends up being the teacher kind of trying to talk it out with the girls and like each girl has like their specific like weird like exposition like backstory, but the backstory is also relatively standard, right? It's like it's either one of like discrimination or it's like um it's one of like self-fulfillment, stuff like that. And it's something that you've seen sort of in fictional stories like every other time, right? It's like there once, for instance, like the wolf girl is dealing with like, hey, I'm not accepted really within like the actual wolf kind of like community, right? The werewolf community properly. So like, how do I deal with this issue, kind of thing? And it goes through very standard scenes of like, oh, her being like teased because she's not like a real wolf girl, proper wolf girl at times, and it's like, oh, you're not one of us. And it's a very sophomoric interpretation of that sort of theme.
Does she change during the full moon?
Yes, but she doesn't change like regular werewolves do. So she's mostly human. She tends to stay
Does she do
mostly
the
human.
reverse thing? Does she do it like with
Yeah, yeah.
Inuyasha during the during the new moon where he turns human
Yeah, yeah,
instead of?
yeah.
So wait, what's
So
her werewolf form? Is it like what's her
so
werewolf form?
her role form is like on a I have I have this opened up, but it's like she has like a flashback, but essentially oh here it is. But it's essentially she is just like a wolf, kind of like a kid wolf when she's like a wolf. And it's not a give me a second. So this is like her wolf form. She's not like a full like she doesn't turn into like a wolf monster, but then when she's in her human form, she turns into like a Garu kind of form, right? Or not a Garu, but like she has this like split personality kind of thing going on, and um, but I don't this and then like the mermaid story that was in episode 2, but I'm not really a big fan of like I'm not I'm not really a big fan of these sorts of like more standard stories being told at this sort of like level, very like surface level vibes. And then on top of that, if you're just gonna focus on just telling these sorts of stories, I'm not sure how much value the whole like Monster Girl theme brings to the table. And this Monster Girl theme seems more just like a dog whistle to like draw otakus in more than like any sort of thing that brings value to the series. It's just like, hey, otakus, come over here. I got Monster Girls, and it's like not adding to the story at all. So it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I don't think the story is very good overall. But the overall package is not abjectly like terrible, right? It's not something
Yeah,
that
sounds too
I'll be
safe. Sounds too safe.
yeah. It's
Maybe for a
just
first
very
foray, it's
vanilla,
fine.
and it could use again as Toast mentioned, a lot more Monster Girls in the Monster Girl series. So it's very unfortunate that it didn't flow that way. But it might change a little bit in the later episodes. I have not read the original material, so I don't know how the flow turns out. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is sort of the same continuation. Then the later episodes kind of focus on again the teacher kind of overcoming his trauma and then of people and then blah blah blah. But I just wish there were more Monster Girl stuff. Like,
Hit me up with that. Is it Shakusama, that 8 foot tall woman? Hell yeah.
oh yeah. So that would be pretty cool. But it is unfortunate that it did turn this way. I think overall rating I would give this series is probably a 4. Um, I think it's solidly below the average of like this sort of the similar sort of series. I don't think it's objectively terrible or anything like that. That's why I wouldn't give it like going down into like the threes or anything. But if I was given the choice, I would definitely not watch this above Demi-Humans Kataritai or Monster Musume or those sorts of things. I would just watch those because those fit in with the vibes that I want from a series based around Monster Moose or Monster Girls. It just is like those guys knew what they were getting into, and they're like, "Yep, we're just doing that." Or what was it? The Fat Elf Girl series, right? Like those, like the people making those, especially like the artists are for some of those, right? Synecdoche, right? Was the one that the Fat Elf Girl, right? They knew what the vibes were. They were just like, yeah, we're just gonna draw fat elf girls and fat dark elves and like stuff like that and MILF elf girls. That's fine. Um, I'm not sure if this author kind of really knew what the vibes were going in. So again, very unfortunate. I don't think she did it out of some sort of like weird like whatever. I think she was just not aware of like what the otakus wanted from Monster Girl series. So, but yeah, that was my review again of Jingai Kyoushitsu no Ningengirai Kyoushi. Again, a misanthrope teaches a class of demi-humans, also known as Jingai Kyoushitsu for short. This is done by Natsume Kurusu, again a Niji Sanji VTuber, originally in a light novel, adapted into an anime by Asread, one of the prime contractor for stuff like Shuffle, Gare Zero, a lot of these like older famous series, and more recently Arifureta. So, if you really want to check out a Monster Girl series, I guess take a skim through this one, but don't expect that much Monster Girl trivia in this series. There just isn't that much. All right. I guess with that, let's move on to Toast. What do you have for us?
Speaking of Maos,
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce this.
Yoroi-den.
I just call it
Yoroi-Shinden.
Yoroi-Den. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
watching. I watch
Yoroi-Shinden
Yoroi-Den.
Samurai Troopers. I think is the.
Yeah, sure that. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Spire. We're American over here and Canadian.
I apologize.
Over here we call it no, Ronin Warriors.
Ah, okay,
Yoroi-Shinden
okay.
Bro.
Ronin Warriors. I don't know what
Yeah.
who these Samurai Troopers guys are.
Hmm.
Did any of you actually
So
watch Ronin Warriors? Let me start off with that.
Um,
no, I do not.
I think I watched like a couple episodes way
Good
back,
enough.
but I never really like. Yeah, I never really dived into it myself.
Hmm.
Because back in the day, this was the trifecta of supreme anime on Toonami. Trifecta, maybe
For those of you
four,
who don't
maybe.
know, I think yeah, so Yoroi-den Samurai Troopers, also known as Ronin Warriors, was a series in the 90s, I believe. Yeah, 90s, right? 90s by Sunrise. Um,
1988.
okay, so late 80s going into the 90s. Sorry, I believe. Um, about kind of these, I want to say, yes, like a group of, I want to say heroes. It's
Let,
like a
let me let me
very,
Spire.
yeah.
Let me handle this.
Okay,
Back
okay.
then, Sailor Moon was for the girls, and Ronin Warriors was for the boys. It's literally
I mean,
that's it.
I mean, Samurai Warriors was kind of just like Saint Seiya's popular, right? So
Saint
Mhm.
Seiya,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
that? Never
Saints.
heard of
I was
that in
about to actually
America.
use
Sorry,
Saint
never heard of
Seiya
that
as an
in
example.
America.
Yeah.
true,
We're not in
true.
Mexico and Spain
Yeah,
near Southern
that's true.
America.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It's so true.
I
So
was
yeah,
actually about to make the same comparison here. Saint
yeah,
Seiya. Oh
basically,
yeah.
basically the back then the OGs know OGs on Toonami know that I guess the trifecta of anime was Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, and Ronin Warriors. Also Gundam Wing, if you want to count it. Four, I guess. Yeah, yeah. Let's count the four. The big four of anime. Introduction to anime for the modern era were those four. Samurai Troopers, aka Ronin Warriors, probably being the least popular of the bunch, but I liked it. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so the story goes, it's a bunch of five dudes. They do Sailor Moon transformations and don their cool Yoroi, which means armor, and they fight the evil dynasty, which is basically the Demon King. What do they call him? What's the name of the old Demon King? Uh, I'm gonna talk like I'm gonna talk about Ronin Warriors. Back then we called it the Dynasty.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the evil
Okay.
dynasty. That's basically the story of the old Sam. Should I go more into it? Yeah. So there's
I mean,
five
it's pretty
dudes.
much just a Monster of the Week kind of series, right?
What was that?
Oh,
It's,
okay, okay, okay.
yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just a standard Monster of the Week shonen, right?
Yeah, there's five
Mhm.
dudes. The five main dudes have the power of the elemental armors, and then they fight the evil warlords, which had the power of. I think they were modeled after like the season, spring, summer, fall, winter. And then yeah, so you got
Okay,
you got
so the four colors. You're okay.
yeah. So uh you got fire, torrent, rock. They call that sky or halo, and I guess light or thunder. So five dudes fighting the evil dynasty, and they beat the evil guy. That's basically the backstory. That's all you need. So this series, Shin Samurai Troopers, as I'm just gonna call it, is indeed a sequel set 35 years after the original Ronin Warriors defeated the evil dynasty and the Demon King. And in that time, uh, I guess they taught the government how to become Ronin Warriors, which is kind of weird, I guess,
Why?
just in case the dynasty comes back.
Okay.
So yeah, we're pulling a. Is it gate? You want to call this an isekai situation? or a data life situation where after 35 years, the seal to the demon world breaks, and now the evil dynasty's back with a new demon lord to fight them. What's the name of the new demon lord? Is it Ra?
Oh,
Whatever.
you're
The
about to
new.
say Rao.
Sure. No, it's what's the new guy? Whatever. The new guy. A
Is
new
it this?
demon lord. Yeah.
Is it this
And
evil
so
looking fucker on Mal Ramaga?
yeah, is that his name?
Oh, okay.
That's what Mal says.
Yeah. So the new demon lords come out, and what they have to do is. So how it turns out is after the Ronin Warriors 35 years after the Ronin Warriors, they taught the government how to fight back against the demons. So now, subsidized? You want to call them subsidized? There's a new subsidized group of Ronin Warriors.
Like a
They're
government
basically
issued
taught them how to
squad.
use like their. So the Ronin Warriors have two forms, I guess you want to call it.
Mhm.
Like they have their what is it called? The Under Armor form, which is their incomplete form, but they have like the basic armor. And then they have the full armor gear form, where it's just like when they're wearing their full armor.
Uh-huh.
So the Ronin Warriors taught them how to use like this new armor gear thing, which transformed them into the under armor. And you have to have certain virtues, I believe it's called. I guess you want to call them virtues, in order to transform into a Ronin or into a samurai trooper, and to get the full armor. And how the government's involved. It's like, oh hey, they have government ads where like, oh hey, you want to fight back against the dynasty that might come back late, like in the future? Become a Ronin warrior today. So it's like I want to call it PMC. Well, no, not yeah, yeah, it's a PMC kind of thing where
So
they form this.
Are the Under Armour
They
dudes
form
just
this
like
what?
like mooks, or are they just like grunts or whatever? And then the real
Yeah, they
dudes are
form
like,
this new group called like the DST, which stands for like Demon Samurai Trooper Squad and whatever. So
Okay.
there's a bunch of guys. They train. They made it a point to mention that the armor gear has a specific age limit
uh-huh.
in
An age
order to
limit?
wield it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's you have so the
Is this
prime
mainly in
age.
the new one?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
I guess yeah. I don't remember this being in the original, but they mentioned that like
That's
the
weird.
prime
Okay.
it is the prime age of being a samurai trooper is 15. I guess that's the same age as the original cast.
Right. Okay.
Sure.
And if you go over that, I guess you suck and you die. I don't know.
Cool.
Okay.
This is where I mentioned this does feel like a Sailor
Wait,
Moon
if you
type
go over
situation.
that?
If you're too old, you can't maintain. You
Wait,
can't
the
become
age cut
a
is 15?
Child soldiers only, please.
yeah.
Thank
If
you.
you
Jesus
become like
Christ.
they well, one of the characters that's like currently a samurai trooper slash Ronin warrior. He's the older one of the group, and it shows that like he's having trouble using the armor gear. So it's yeah, he's too
Uh-huh.
old.
Okay, that's
That's
weird.
really weird.
I mean, but
It's like
it
this is some
kind of makes
Digimon
sense.
stuff?
It does make sense. Like I said, a Sailor Moon situation where the Sailor Scouts are, they're 15, right? Around that age.
I think so, like 15, 16, yeah.
Mhm.
How old is Seiya? 15 also, right?
I think, yeah.
This is the
I mean, yeah, it's a
so
pretty
yeah,
standard
whatever.
shonen trope, right?
Where
But
was I?
Yeah.
So the new current group of Ronin warriors, they're a bunch of newbies. When the demon or when the dynasty attacked again, they don their undergear and they fight against like an armored dude. But it turns out they're ineffective because they don't they can't use the full armor, the samurai armor. So they completely lose against the one of the armored fellows they fight against. Except for the one guy I mentioned, the older guy who actually is able to don the armor. So he fights against this mysterious armored fellow. But then the mysterious armored fellow gets shot, and it's like, damn, who is this? He got betrayed by his demon comrades in the armor, and suddenly he's a human, and that's how you get your new main protagonist.
Wait, so huh? Wait, so
Yeah, I know, right? The story's whack.
he gets betrayed. Wait, so he originally was part of the dynasty, and then he gets betrayed, and then he decides to join the samurai warriors.
So it's kinda. It's like. So yeah, the mysterious armored intruder gets defeated by a mysterious, gets betrayed by his comrades and becomes human, and it turns out this guy, this mysterious demon that turned to a human, is named Guy, and
Wow.
when how's it going? What's her name? Whatever. So I mentioned that this was a sequel, right? So yeah, so I probably should have gone with this too. So, Hanir, do you remember this chick that always hung out with the Ronin Warriors? This
Which
chick and
one?
this little boy. You don't remember them?
No. Are they like are there like returning characters? You mean?
Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
this chick that hung on with the original Ronin Warriors from 35 years ago has become the head of the organization that fights back against the demons. And so she still has the Jewel of Life. It's just this like mysterious Magatama from the previous series that seeks out like, the Ronin Warriors. And so when she holds it up to the mysterious demon that turned human, it turns red. Nier, do you know why it turned red?
Because he's the Red Ranger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And so
Is this a
yeah,
direct continuation of like the old
yeah. This is like I said. This is a direct sequel.
oh. So
Yeah.
it's like you
That
have to kind
sounds
of
like a
also already have
really good
known
idea.
the story beforehand. This because right, it's like when
Kind
was the last one? The last one was like
like
way
35 years
back,
ago,
like
1988.
yeah, yeah.
But it's
It's
it's kind of hinted at it, I guess. You don't really have need to see in the original series, but I highly recommend you do.
okay.
But yeah, who knows where the original Ronin Warriors are now? Yeah.
Yeah, I want to throw it out there that
Pe-
the demon scene was going around like Twitter and stuff, and people were like, "Oh my god,
Mhm.
this is so crazy," and that's how I knew this shit was ass.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Cause like
Cause
after the
like they're like walking through and like civilians are like exploding and shit, and I'm just like, this series is gonna fucking suck.
Awesome, dude.
I feel
yeah.
like when you
So
when
yeah,
you have scenes of like when your show has to open with scenes like that, like I'm not gonna be a stickler where it's like, oh my god, like you can't show violence and shit like that. But it's like when you have to make it a point to be like, they're killing the women and children and their fucking heads are exploding and they're getting cut in half. Oh my god.
That's how you know
And
it's
it
dark,
doesn't
dude. That's how you know it's
necessarily look
dark
like
and for
it doesn't look like
men.
garbage, but I'm like, this shit's gonna be bad. There's no way.
so yeah, I did a bad job explaining, but yeah, basically, after the demons invade, there's like they call them the group of 10 braves, whatever. Get it?
Uh-huh.
10 braves, because that's it's a Warring States period, like
Yeah.
Sengoku period reference, whatever. So yeah, there's ten evil guys that pop out of the gate and start killing people. The main character being one of them, but he turns human, so he whatever. It's okay.
All is
He's
forgiven.
yeah. He's killed people, but it's okay
Okay.
because he likes Japanese pop songs from the 80s.
That's true. That's usually how you get out of murder charges.
For some
Of
reason,
prison, yeah. Exactly.
there's a lot of the main characters sing a lot of this series, and it's all songs from the 80s.
Uh-huh.
Probably
Uh-huh.
because when the original Ronin Warriors sealed the gate, it was in the 80s, so the demon realm only has
But yeah,
music
that's
from Japan
the
from
only
in
culture
the
they held
80s.
on to.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like these are actual 80s songs. I don't know too much about those, but yeah, they're actually singing them.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I get whatever. Our main character got his name's Guy. He's a demon that got turned human. And the first thing he says is, "I want revenge on my father, Murmaga, because my father said one day he's going to use me as his vessel, because so he can use his true power. So he's like, teach me how to become a Ronin warrior." And everyone's like, okay, I guess.
Why would they do that?
Because when, like I said, when the main chick, Yagyu, Mai,
Yeah, but
whatever
he
you want to
just
call
kind of
her,
like he kind of did just like kill a bunch of people.
but near when she gave him the jewel of life, it turned red.
But
So
why did she give
he
him?
has
Why did she give him the
because
jewel of life
she was like,
if he
I
just
have a
killed a bunch
hunch.
of people?
I have a hunch.
I feel like she should not be in charge if she's getting hunches like that.
Yeah, I
But
got a good
What
vibe. I got a good vibe from this demon.
so yeah, I mentioned that like each of the Ronin warriors have their own this virtue. So the red one has the virtue of Jin, which is like righteousness. So
Mm.
even though he's killed people, he's a righteous fellow.
okay, I don't know about that. But
Righteous murder. Okay, all right. That's an
yeah,
interesting one.
It's okay, Nier. He didn't know how that killing humans is bad because he grew up in the demon realm. It's like
that's true. You know, sometimes a kid just like murders a bunch of animals, and you're like, oh well, that's not a red flag at all. You know, he just
that's
doesn't know any
that's
better.
that's literally how they explain it. Like he doesn't know humans killing bad, so we have to teach him that.
Be
Everyone's like,
reformed.
damn, okay.
Dude, that's not
It is pretty lame.
that's not how
But
it
yeah.
works, man.
So that's him. And he's the first one to don his armor other than like the old guy, because he's he's burning up with righteousness, I guess. Sure. So that's our main
Okay.
character. And then we have the other four. There's this bitch boy named Musashi Hojo,
He's
Okay.
who's oh, do you have the picture? I didn't give you a picture. I'm sorry.
he's the blue
Of the
one,
main
right?
cast. Yeah, the blue one. That's why I call him bitch boy.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
he's like he's good natured and timid. He's like, oh, we don't have to fight and whatever. And like, he's like, oh, I've never wanted to become a Ronin warrior, but I have to be because my Nichan wanted to become one, and I have to be strong like him. So yeah, he uses what is it? Using the cyan armor of Waterfall, and his virtue is trust, I guess.
Mm.
Sure.
Mm.
And so, and then there's, let's go. Let's go to the other blue guy. The other blue guy with the pointy head.
Uh-huh.
His name's
Cool
Kaito.
blue hair.
Yeah, his name's Kaito Uesugi. You get it, Near?
Yeah.
You get why he's called Uesugi now?
Yeah.
Get
Because
it?
he's a samurai.
Don't you remember? Don't you remember Rand's quest? Uesugi Kenshin has the cool pointy hat too.
True. Iconic Rance character, Uesugi Kenshin.
Yeah, with the pointy hat. That's why he's got the
Yeah,
pointy hat.
true.
So that guy, during the demon invasion, his grandma died. So he swears revenge against Guy. I guess.
These people don't really seem to have the best of intentions for becoming samurai warriors. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But near they all have the correct virtue, I guess. Sure. So yeah, he's a music enthusiast. His grandma died during the demon invasion, and he thought Guy did it, but it turns out Guy didn't do it. And Guy was like, "Damn, your granny had some good taste in music," and that's how they got along. Because his grandma likes rock and roll, I guess. But yeah.
Okay.
So he's got the sky armor, and his virtue is wisdom, I guess. I don't know why,
Okay.
because he likes music, sure.
Sure.
And then so the old
So
guy I
is
mentioned. So I got two
Mhm.
more characters to explain. So the older guy, his name's Ryusei Oda, and he's got the green armor of courtesy, sure. So yeah, he's older, and he's like the I guess
The
the
mentor.
leader, I guess. Yeah, leader slash mentor. But he's having trouble with his armor, even though he's already got it. Probably because he's too old. And he's called Oda. Get it?
Yeah.
Like Oda Nobunaga. Yeah. But but somehow there's two characters in green that wear this green armor of Halo slash lightning.
Surely
Gee, I
Oda won't
wonder
die.
why.
Surely Oda won't die and lose his armor.
Surely. Even though he's so prominently figured smiling against the sunset in the openings and endings. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's our 5 main characters. So far, the story's pretty ass.
Nice.
Is it just like an episodic kind of thing with
It
like
goes
gradual character
way too
development,
fast. It goes
or
way
what?
too fast.
Is
So
is the
like
focus
first,
on the character development, or is it all the monster of the week kind of vibes?
there is a monster of the week. Like, yeah, there is a monster of the week, I guess. Like the first
Mhm.
episode, you meet almost all the characters.
Of course.
Okay.
Oh shit, I forgot one of the whatever. I'll explain him later. So yeah, you meet all the characters. You meet all four of the samurai, the Ronin warriors. You got Guy, you got Ryusei, you got Kaito, and Musashi, and they're all doing stuff during the demon invasion. Second episode, yeah, it's a recap and then some aftermath, and then the third episode, they have a training montage, and then we meet our final member of the Ronin warriors, his name is Yamato Hojo, who's the older brother of Musashi,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
and he's the orange fellow. His virtue is justice. Sure. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know. There's, like I said, the story. It's not. I'll just say it's not as good as the original. See, some people might have liked it, but for me, it's not my thing. I have a myriad of problems with it. For like one, the pacing's pretty ass, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well,
they're probably just
so
trying to railroad into the fights as soon as possible, right?
Yeah. So this is
yeah.
a 2-course season or series. So
Really?
yeah. But to be fair, the story immediately at the beginning of the original Ronin Warriors was also pretty ass.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember for the story goes like, oh, you meet all 5 of our Ronin Warriors at the beginning, and then later on they get separated and lose their memories. So they all have to like venture into all over the planet to find them again. So they meet up before they fight the big bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
So like that was also kind of messed up as well. But I don't know. I'm just not feeling this story so far. It's like, for one thing, like I'm not liking the main character that much, really.
So is this main kind of like rush story the main problem you have with watching the sequel as opposed to like the original
There's a
series or
lot
the
of
original season?
there's a lot of alludes to the original series, like, oh, maybe it's the setting that like, oh, 35 years later that we're experienced with the demons from what we learned from with the original Ronin Warriors, and now we're ready to fight, but oh no, we suck.
Okay.
Because I should I didn't mention this either, but like the government issued like Ronin Warriors before we get our actual main cast. Turns out they're just a bunch of assholes who just wanted money.
Wow.
So like the 5 guys who like all have the current like under armor and can't summon the true armor. Turns out like, oh, they're a bunch of posers, like, oh, get ready to fight, like evil dynasty. We're take you
Mm-hmm.
down. Oh no, we can't. Our weapons are ineffective. We suck. And then like later on when they have to do like this evacuation thing, like, oh, we know you can't fight the bad guys without the true armor, so we're gonna have you do like rescue missions. All of them were like, fuck that. We're just gonna kill and steal all these jewels and make money. And I'm like, what the heck kind of
Based as fuck.
like what kind of team is this? And like the only one who was like, oh no, guys, we should do that was Musashi, the the water guy, because he's part of the original team, or the original
Mm-hmm.
team in quotes. And then they're like, no, we're gonna do whatever we want. And then they try to kill him.
Okay.
So I was like, like okay. And then like those 5 get killed because Guy breaks out of when Guy wakes up after like he turns into a human, he's like, "Oh, I want to become a Ronin warrior," and he kills the other four. And I'm like,
Okay, so
"What
he's
the
still
heck is
killing
this story?"
humans. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, he kills
Okay.
the original four, as in like the new original, like the government issued original four, and he almost kills Yamato, but he gets stopped in time by the green guy because
So it's a lot
he
of
wanted
like
to kill
weird
them to steal
conflicts.
their armor, their transforming gear. So that's that.
Mhm.
I don't know. Like I said, the story's all over the place. They should not have included these original five that were just bad guys in general, like in the first
Uh-huh.
place. And I don't think they really belong there.
Yeah.
It just
It's
sets up the main character guy to be even more of an asshole than he should be, even though he's a demon.
uh-huh.
It's like, okay, man, I really don't think that was necessary because in the original red one, Ryo, but it's pronounced Rio, but even
Yeah.
us Americans call him Ryo. He was a
Mm.
cool, calm, compassionate leader, and he would never do something like that. So I guess is this a passing of the or is this the times of change kind of thing where your leader instead of being like cool, intelligent, wise, and like dependable Red Ranger, the Red Ranger now has to be like this brash newbie that's hot-headed and all of that.
Part of it, it's like it's similar to like modern superhero movies, right? The difference between modern superhero movies and like superhero movies like way back in like the, let's say, or not movies, I guess, but like series depictions in like the 80s, 90s, so on. It's just like there's a lot more there's a lot of this like weird emphasis these days on like, oh, I'm an imperfect human being and I have all these like issues that I need to get over, right?
Uh,
Versus
um,
a little bit more of the escapism
you could also,
previously.
I mean, you could also compare it to like a Power Rangers type thing. Or let's say Jason, yeah, Jason's cool. The original Red Ranger, yeah, he's cool. And then you have the new Red Rangers who are like hot-headed and brash and like do whatever they
Hmm.
want. That's like more of a 90s to 2000s kind of thing. It might be like that.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. Where am I going with it? So yeah. So I guess
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't like Guy. Guy is not as cool as the original
Hmm.
protagonist.
But he's a fucking
Musashi,
badass demon that kills people, dude. Like, what the fuck?
yeah, but he's boring. He just wants to, my red hot blood's boiling. I want to fight. He's not cool.
What if they
But
gave
yeah,
him a shining, burning finger?
mm,
Then he'd be pretty cool.
but yeah. Let's see. The blue guy. I'm just not feeling this cast just yet, really. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah. Let's see.
Do you want to go over the
Yeah,
audio visuals, I guess?
no, I'm gonna fail. Musashi, the new water guy. He's like I said, he's a bitch boy compared to the original guy, Shin Mori, the original blue runner warrior, who was the oldest one, but he was like the most intelligent, really. And could you? I would say a good comparison to him would be like Sailor Mercury. Sailor Mercury is smart and she's level-headed and whatnot, but the new guy is just a bitch boy. And then let's see. The orange guys are kind of similar, so whatever. They're dumb, they're hard-headed, but they have a strong sense of justice, and they eat a
Hmm.
lot. Yeah. How about the dark blue guys? Yeah, they're kind of no, yeah, that's another thing. The new blue guy, the new dark blue guy, Kaito. He's also kind of hot-headed, and he's like he holds a grudge. He's not, but he likes music. When you compare him to Bomba Hashibos, aka Rowan, who had the funny accent and the bow. It's again, this is a different type of character. And then I guess all the intelligence went to Ryusei Oda, the green guy. compared to the original, the other green guy, who's his name is Sage Date or Seiji Date. I want to say they're kind of similar. I don't know. Whatever. I just
Yeah,
I'll
anyways.
whatever. I don't like the new cast compared to the old cast. Basically, yeah. Okay, audio visuals. This is a Sunrise Studio, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the sunrise.
Bandai Namco Sunrise Studios.
Yes, 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 yes.
And you can tell it's got that Bandai Namco money. Yeah.
How close is it to the original designs?
It's ass. I will say that. All right, whatever.
It's not good.
Let's see. The old style, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it
Yeah,
good? Is
this
it
is
bad?
most.
What's happening?
Anyway,
Okay. What's happening? Okay,
I mean, if you look at the
is
old
good?
one, if you look at the old one, it looks old, but it's that type of thing. It's old, but it looks good. I'm just going to start. Whatever. I'll just say the old one looks
Yeah,
better
kind of like the
because the
old
new
like
one,
Seiya kind of stuff, right?
the new one
Sure.
has a lot of colors.
Okay.
Like
The
it's
palette is different.
bare because like even from their hairstyles, they're all color coded correctly, and it's like, come on, guys, really? Well, to be fair, even in the old one, they were also color coded, but they had different colors. Instead of
Okay.
like I said, the blue guys have one's brown hair, the other one's is it near you want to call that green? Greenish hair?
Or what, the old?
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, there's the blue guy and the other blue guy. They have brown one's
Yeah.
brown hair, one's greenish hair. And then Kento over there has the blue hair. Ryo has the black hair, and Sage has the blonde hair. But in the new ones, they're all color coded to just to be their armor color, and it's kind of lame, really. Yeah, when did Zeta Gundam kind of or hmm, was Zeta 80s?
Um. It was either like late '80s or early '90s, right?
Because now that I look at it, this is very yeah,
I mean,
1985.
that was just the style
Yeah,
at the time, right? So,
this is very Zeta Gundam slash double Zeta Gundam coded with these colors. Yeah.
yeah.
And compared to the new one, like I said, there's too many colors. It's too shiny. It's a lot of color saturation that's going on. If you look at some clips and whatever, I mean, I just don't like it. It's too much color going on. The
The palette is too bright.
the palette is too bright. And when they like so up to when they have their Under Armor, it's all fine. But when they go into the true armor,
I mean, they're
their
basically
over
just
armor,
the
it's
fucking the big
CG.
armor is like it's like
It's
big
at
Lego blocks, right? Like,
yeah, it's bigger Lego blocks because it's all CG. They
yeah.
all suddenly turn CG, and it doesn't look that good.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, and I mean, I just don't like it. One thing is that they kept the cool clanks whenever they move in their armor, so I'll give them one. But I just don't like the CG when they move. Also, the most of the like I said, when everyone's in their armor, it's all CG. So when they're fighting, so when they're fighting the bad guys, it's all CG. Everyone's CG. When they're fighting like the monster of the week, it's all CG. When they're fighting the other guys in armor, it's all CG. And it's like, it's just not my thing, man. It doesn't look as good as the
Mm.
old
Or the
one, even though the
transformations.
I guess audio visuals. Anything else?
I'm
Any
almost done.
other lots?
I don't like the new audio visuals compared to the old one. They're just saying, sounds pretty cool. They're
Okay.
trying. Whatever. I'll found Here, this guy's got a short. Whatever, you can watch this guy. I just don't like it. They're trying to homage the original. It's not good.
So it's
Oh wait,
it's not like they don't have the money. It's just that their ideas for it, the vision was not good,
they have
right?
like the same when they do their actual full transformation scene. It's
Uh-huh.
it's very much almost the same scene as the original, but like
Hmm.
remade. But I just don't like. I just don't like it. It doesn't have the
Okay.
cool soccer pedals that are like giving you flashing epilepsy kind of thing. If if you know, you know. They try it, and then like when they transform, they have instead of bright flashes of light when they don their armor, they have like, oh, there's fire, there's water, there's rocks, and I'm like, okay. The soundtrack also isn't as good. Whatever.
Mm.
I'm just going. It's just a pale comparison to the original.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay.
Whatever. Yeah, audio
Well,
visuals. It's fine. Too many colors. I guess they're trying to invoke the what's the is it ukiyo-e? Would you call this ukiyo-e style
no, I
with the
don't.
colors?
I don't think. I don't know if
Uh,
it's.
I think
I
they're
don't know
just
if the
trying to.
ukiyo-e.
I think they're just trying to be really bright because it's geared more to
Yeah, yeah.
kids. But
yeah, I guess.
It doesn't. It's not that far away from what Sunrise usually does. It's almost like not card five Vanguard kind of like vibes. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like almost like
Okay.
kid show.
yeah,
It's like kid show vibes more than anything else, which is in line with like if it's like if they're thinking it more, oh, this is like a Sailor Moon, like modern Saint
Like,
Seiya, or not modern Saint Seiya, but like a modern
yeah,
remake of like Saint Seiya. Like,
I'll call it like a modern bright ukiyo-e bunraku type thing, like very Japanese inspired, like theater cinema kind of thing, because they do have like the sliding doors and whatnot. Felt
mm-mm.
kind of like a theater play. But again, it's just not as good as the original, and it's too bright because I'm an old man and I like my old stuff. What else? Uh, do you want the? Man, I've been harping on. I haven't even mentioned the voice actors. So, Guy is voiced by Hiro Ishibashi. I don't know who you are. Oh, he's the main guy from Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. Good for you. Okay, that's Guy. That's the red guy. Then you got Hojo Musashi, voiced by Ayumu Murase. Hey, that's
Yep. Yeah, we talked about him in detail before.
yeah. Who's that guy? He's
He does
he's Elendira, the Crimson Nail in Dragon Stargaze.
he does also who was it, the orange hair guy?
He's Sanda.
The main guy at Haikyuu.
yeah.
Okay, but he's also Sanda.
Uh
And then
Hinata Shoyo, and then yeah, Sanda as well.
Oda Ryusei, the green guy, is Toshiki Masuda.
Hmm.
I don't know who this guy is. Idolish? No, I'm not gonna talk about Idolish. I don't know who this
Yeah,
guy is.
yeah,
He's
mostly
He's Red Riot
pretty
in Boku no
experienced.
My Hero Academia. Red Riot, that guy, Kirishima.
Mhm.
And then let's see, Usagi Kaito, the other blue guy. That's Inoki Junior, Junior Inoki. I know that name. He's the dog guy in Beastars.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, pretty experienced
And
voice
then
acting cast overall.
yeah, they're all dudes. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
One of the 10 Braves, the evil guys, is voiced by Tomokazu Sugita. I get that.
Mhm.
Whatever. I don't. Do you want me to talk about like the staff? I don't.
No,
No, no,
can
whatever.
we do I
Yeah.
guess
Oh,
any last words on
oh
the
yeah. The
series?
opening is Yoake by Blank Paper. I don't know who Blank Paper is. And then the ending is Power by 1 or 8. I can see why some people would prefer the ending over the opening, but I prefer the opening.
Mhm.
And then overall, man, I'm not feeling this series at all.
Okay.
I don't know. I came here looking for. Maybe it's because maybe it's because I'm an old man now. like I mentioned, like I'm not feeling the main cast. I'm not feeling the story, even though it's a continuation. I'm not feeling the animation or the colors or the soundtrack. I prefer the old style. The old style 80s Sunrise, Zeta Gundam, Double Zeta Gundam, yeah, or all that. Um, Overall, I what score am I gonna give this? What's the Maou score? 6.47. Is that good or bad?
That's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad.
That's
Yeah,
not
it's like
great for
really bad for
Maul.
Maou.
Like,
I mean, I'm gonna give it like I guess I'll give it a 7.
bruh.
Sure.
Okay.
That's really
That's
bad
pretty
coming
low.
from
That's
Toast,
pretty
by the
low
way.
for Toast.
That's
Yeah.
very low for
Like I
Toast.
said, I'm not feeling this. I'm going to watch this to completion because it's
Uh-huh.
Ronin Warriors. Ronin Warriors was like one of the best. I really like Ronin Warriors and whatnot. But I'm really not
But
feeling the
it's just not
series.
good. Yeah,
I
okay. It's
mentioned
just not
I
good.
mentioned this to Nia earlier, but I think that compared to these 3 episodes, I honestly believe that I like CV's The Sound of Heroes much better than this series so far, and they both have like a similar premise and story. With like the older
Okay.
experienced guy, you know, and then like the new guy. Honestly, I even might prefer, yeah, like I really prefer the story of CV's over this, like currently.
Mhm.
And like I even like that cast better so far than this. And that's a hot take. Because
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah,
All
like
right.
overall
Well,
I would not recommend this to people who like the original Run
mhm.
Warriors. It's unless you really have your nostalgia glasses on so far, like you might like it. I personally don't. Also in CVs, they actually have good songs in that series. Just saying, like,
Yeah, I mean, this is not a song-based series. It's like a battle-focused
Spire,
thing.
I
So
did mention that
I mean, the
every
demons
time
are
they
apparently
fight, they're
singing, right?
singing.
So,
They're actually singing in
yeah,
this series.
but this.
Like
Yeah.
like the main guy when he was a demon and he was slaughtering people, he was singing an 80s song that I don't know the name of. And then when he's
Mhm.
fighting, he's also singing a different 80s song. Cause one one of his most treasured possessions is like this 100 hit songs from the 80s from the demon world, which is just Japanese songs.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, so
still, that just because it has singing, it doesn't mean it's. I think Seed is a lot more focused on the singing part. So,
yeah, 7 out of 10. I do not recommend this if you watch the original Ronin Warriors. Some people might like it if you want to start out fresh, but I personally don't.
okay. I guess on that note, thank you very much, Toast. He covered Yoroi-Shinden Samurai Troopers. So this is Ronin Warriors, I believe, is the official localized title for it. This is a direct sequel. This is not like a spin-off or like a reboot or anything. This is a direct sequel of the previous.
Let me hit you up with
Uh,
here. I posted this clip. Here, let me hit you up with the original transformation. This is sick.
yeah. But it is essentially based off the old late 80s, early 90s series. Again, based off of Ronin Warriors. Kind of similar vibes to Saint Seiya or like Sailor Moon, stuff like that. Obviously, very good in pretty popular in the during those times. They decided to just kind of boot it back up again. And this is the sort of unfortunate result that we got. Obviously, if you do want to kind of invest time into this series, please do check out the original series. As instead, I think
Yeah,
Toast would probably
hell
recommend that.
yeah.
And then just to get into it again, it is pretty similar to that sort of like kind of action, kind of henshin, say armor, that sort of vibes. So if you do like that, please do check the original material out. All right. Well, thank you very much, Toast. And last but not least, Nier, you have a quite an interesting series for us.
yeah, speaking of dog shit,
Speaking of
Speaking of
speaking
anime
of
of the
Ningen,
year,
Speaking of
speaking
monkey
of fucking
business.
Speaking
Speaking
of
of
absolute
Ningens,
fucking
aka why I wanted Dark myself to come after Dark and Nier to come after Spire.
Yes.
yeah, I watched Darwin Jihen, also known as the
Yes.
Darwin Incident.
Yes. 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 Yes.
And I'm gonna be straight up. I only watched this show because it's got a fucking monkey in it.
It was a good choice. I'm not gonna lie though.
It's really the only reason I picked it. But
Yeah.
yeah, Darwin Jihen is a sort of sci-fi drama seinen from Studio Belnox Films, which I think
This is the only series that they're like
they're like
titled for. They
like main
yeah.
production. I think they're
They
probably
probably did do like assistant stuff like here and there,
yeah.
but they haven't been named so far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is like their first big production.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the main uh premise is um what if a dude had what if a dude uh did it with a monkey? That's
Wait,
basically it.
hold on. So the monkey is female, not a human woman with a gorilla. It's the opposite.
Yeah, so the birth mother is a chimpanzee.
Sick.
That's being, I guess, somehow via science that the series does not even attempt to explain, is inseminated by a human male and gives birth to a humanzee. And I'm not making that up. That's what the series calls our main character. Is Charlie the humanzee. And my eyes rolled into the back of my head when I read that, but that's what they call him. And the basic setup is like there is a this series is so retarded. So there's a vegan like eco terrorist organization called the
Like Avalanche?
Animal. Not really.
That
No.
sounds like Avalanche, because remember, Avalanche
Yeah,
is what is like eco-freedom fighters.
Avalanche are eco terrorists, but they're eco terrorists in the sense that like they're doing terrorism for the sake of
The
saving the
planet.
planet and fighting global warming and shit. These guys are vegan eco terrorists, and so
This sounds like a Michael Crichton series. I'm not gonna lie.
yes, yep,
This
yep.
premise.
So these guys are vegan ego terrorists, and what that means is they blow up restaurants that serve meat. And as our main character is like, I guess, being born, this eco terrorist group raids this animal lab, right? And they like rescue the like chimp that's giving birth to Charlie because she's like having complications or some shit. And then as a result, Charlie gets adopted by human parents, and then we get like a 15-year time skip, which, by the way, chimps typically only live to like 30 or 40. So Charlie being 15 means he's like middle-aged, but whatever. So he's
Is that mentioned in the series?
no, they don't acknowledge that.
Mhm.
It's kind of just, I mean, he's like a human chimp half breed, so it's kind of assumed that he just has like a human lifespan. But they never really go into like what
So
actually.
you're saying most humans die at 30? I get that. Also, look at the sick visual there.
True, yeah, but yeah, that doesn't happen in the show. But yeah, so he is on his way to his first day at high school. And
Wait, he's 15 near?
yeah, he's 15.
Damn,
Yep.
he could be a Ronin warrior.
True, that's true. He could be the first humanity Ronin warrior. But yeah, he goes to his first day of high school, and on his first day of high school, he's accosted by the local chud of the school. Um, and the Chud discovers Charlie's vegan. Charlie's a vegan actually. And the reason Charlie's a vegan is because his parents are vegan, and so that's just what he knows, right? And
Mhm.
so the school's Chud, in his infinite wisdom, decides to have a Reddit debate with Charlie, and he goes, hypothetically speaking, if there were a mouse that's about to bite you, and this mouse has a deadly disease, and the only
Oh.
way you could prevent this mouse from biting you is to shoot it, what would you do?
Eat
And
it.
Charlie says, I'd probably fucking shoot it, man.
Hell
I'd probably
yeah.
shoot it to save my life. And the Chud decides to go, oh, not so vegan anymore, are you? And then everyone in the room is kind of like, okay, man, we're gonna go. We're gonna leave now. And that's kind of like this whole show, this whole series is kind of like taking a surface level like Reddit argument and kind of presenting it as like philosophy. There are like
Wait. Can I sorry, time. So it's like, eh, let's talk on a meta level for a little bit second, although it's like a
okay,
weird thing. So is the author like presenting the opposition as like essentially like crappy Redditor arguments, and then it's like the main guy has this like shows that he is more like broad-minded and does this overall growth thing, or is it just like the author is dumb and like
no,
this
the
entire
author is just dumb. So
oh okay
because
okay
Charlie is presented as being like ignorant, like he is ignorant to the
Mhm.
world, right? And so like his argument for like being vegan is basically just like, I'm a vegan because that's what I eat. Like it's just what I eat, right? He doesn't really
Uh-huh.
have like a moral um reason for being a vegan. He doesn't really have like, some sort of like ethical
Genetic reason, yeah.
pillar that's holding him up. Yeah, and he's a fucking half human, half chimp. So he is an omnivore. He is capable of eating meat. He just doesn't, right? And so
Mhm.
this series, and again, this series like core like moral uh like one of its main like philosophical, I guess, questions it constantly asks like the characters within it is like, what's even the point of being vegan? Well, like, what's the point of being vegan? And
Listen,
it's
I don't
just
want
a
to hear.
very
I don't want to hear about dietary fucking bullshit from a country where they're putting ketchup and mayo on fucking pizza. That's like my point.
true,
Okay.
true, but also like it's just like a very
What do you
bizarre
mean?
kind of debate to be having. Um, it alongside so the core, I guess, overarching plot, I should mention, is like related to this terrorist organization, right? This terrorist like vegan terrorist organization
Wait, so
is
the
like,
core backbone is not the character's growth, it's the terrorist organization?
yes sir, yes sir.
What
So
the
so
okay.
the core like conflict, I guess the overarching conflict is that this
Okay.
terrorist organization, who initially rescued Charlie, um, they now want to sort of recruit Charlie into their like organization. I don't know why. They don't
Yes.
say
Think about
why.
the
Um,
power they would
yes, think
wield
about the infinite
if they
power they would wield
recruited the
if they had the
humanity.
A
humanity
monkey
as
that is
like a
slightly smarter than humans is slightly better than
yeah.
chimpanzees.
Like if they had, I guess, him as a mascot. I don't really know what the goal is.
hmm
But yeah, so they're trying to like recruit him, and um, the kind of, I guess, the intertwining of the terrorist organization's actions and Charlie's like high school life is like, it's a very, 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 very obvious and overt sort of comparison, allegory, whatever, to the actions of like extremist, Muslim groups, jihadist groups, whatever, during the time of 9/11, and how that kind of blowback fell into like the school life of, like Muslim kids in America, right? Or even just
Okay.
vaguely Arabic kids in America,
Mhm.
right? But the problem with that kind of allegory, which can be done, right? It
Mhm.
obviously can be done,
And
is
if you
that
focus on the interactions, right? Exactly.
I mean,
Mhm.
the interactions or whatever, right? Well, I'll get to that. But the main issue here is that the vehicle we're using that, like to do that, is fucking veganism, which is like
yeah, that also too.
a mindset, a philosophy, a lifestyle that is not viewed with like really any venom at all. It's like,
Yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
like
it's literally
if
a
you
meme. It's just memes.
like if
Like,
someone tells you,
how do
yeah,
you
like if
know
someone
they're
tells you
vegan?
they're
They'll tell
vegan,
you. Like, wow,
yeah,
truly the oppressed
Yeah.
class.
but like
Staunch
when
hate. Yeah,
someone
exactly.
tells you they're vegan, you don't fucking turn your nose up. You don't like go,
Yeah, you
ugh,
don't have this like
what?
intrinsic hate or anything like that. That's
Yeah, and
why,
you
yeah.
don't immediately go like, why? Why the fuck are you fucking vegan, dude? What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Like nobody like rational has an issue with like vegans existing, right?
right, exactly,
Um,
exactly.
but this series is like, oh, these like vegans blew up a restaurant. You're vegan too? You must fucking agree with them. You must agree with that. And it's just like, what? No.
Yeah,
Like
the
it's
issue is it's
just
like it's too
so
far removed from realistic interactions. Yeah,
yeah, it's just so bizarre and like cartoonish. And it
Mhm.
doesn't help that all of the interactions, like you said, are really bad. Like I said, they're very much like
Mm,
so
too on the nose.
if you've seen any like vegan debate, like debating the morals or the ethics or the practicalities of like veganism and like what like the end point I guess of veganism of like what does it look like in a vegan society, et cetera, et cetera. Like these are very a lot of these are very like Reddit like surface level like internet debates, right?
Mhm.
That's shit like that, like talking points like that are what this series presents as like serious like moral arguments that should like
Yeah,
shape
too much impact is given to
yeah that
this
should like
sort of premise.
shape the future of society, and it's just like bro, like
Yeah.
nobody gives a fuck, like nobody gives a fuck. And in fact there's literally um a scene in episode 2 I think where like it's part of that scene that I posted a couple snippets from of the fucking subs where it's like this other dude like after the bombing these guys come up to Charlie and they're basically asking him like what do you sympathize with like this terrorist attack, and Charlie's like, why would I? And they're like,
Yeah.
well because you're vegan, right? And he's kind of just like, okay, so um and then he basically like asks these guys um like does being vegan make me any different because like I eat something different from you? And then he basically asks himself like
What's
he
so
or he asks
stupid? Hold up, but what's so stupid about that too, by the way? So to say like, oh, I eat something different from you is like I just don't eat meat or
yeah,
animal
he just
products.
doesn't eat
Like
meat because that's how he was raised. Like I
it's
said,
like what the fuck? That's-
he doesn't even have like a moral like fucking reason to do it. It's just how he was raised. Like he just
It's
eats
like
fucking
he's a
food.
vampire
Yeah.
where he could be like, oh, I
Yeah,
need to like drink blood. It's
Mhm.
but
like
basically
okay,
he
bro just eats cucumbers. Like wow, more than the average person.
But yeah, he's basically like it's just a lifestyle. Like you guys can eat whatever you want, so I can eat whatever the fuck I want. And he asks this question. It was like, you know, if you guys are like so against like veganism, why don't you guys just eat whatever the fuck you want and start eating human beings, right? Um,
Right.
and then these bullies are like, what? That's fucking fucked up, man. Why would you even ask that? Um, and then he
Well,
he
They
okay.
basically he basically like reiterates it, and he's like, okay, but why? Like, why is that fucked up? Like, what makes you like what makes humans so much more different than like the fucking other shit you eat. And then it like doesn't even present the argument, like the you know, the most obvious like pro carnivore whatever argument of just being like, well, because humans like are obviously different from cows and pigs, right? Like we
Yeah,
have a
omnivores. Yeah.
level of intelligence that puts us, in whatever people's eyes above, you know, these livestock animals, right?
Mhm.
It doesn't even present that argument, and it just goes, dude, that is fucking fucked up. Humans are just different because they are, and it's like,
It's so
okay,
true, honestly.
cool.
Yeah, you've seen Planet of the Apes, right?
Yeah, obviously. Why? Good talk.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know.
But yeah, it's just like, yeah, like that's like the whole argument, and it's just like, it could have literally gone into like, well, obviously we don't eat shit that has like demonstrated a certain level of intelligence, right? Like we don't eat fucking apes, we don't eat fucking chimps, like we don't eat fucking like dolphins and shit.
Mhm.
And there, like I know, like there's been a recent push to like not eat octopus, right? Because they obviously
Right.
demonstrate a certain level of intelligence. So like there is obviously arguments that like even having a like a meat eating diet, there are like animals that are very obviously off limits for ethical reasons. But
Near,
it
have you
just goes
seen?
like, well, humans are different, man, because we're fucking special and cooler. And it's like, okay, whatever.
Also, I just want to throw it out there that there's a biological reason to not eat humans either, because we
I
have
love
Yeah.
prions.
we literally have proteins in our bodies that will fucking
Yeah.
make you
I mean,
crazy and
like
like put
most-
holes in your
Don't you love
brain.
prions? I love prions.
Yeah.
I think
It's like
I
the
think
mad
most
cow disease
animals
kind of.
typically have a biological reason to not just eat each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
obviously, some of them will do it in desperation, but like typically, you don't see fucking hyenas just attacking each other for no reason.
yeah. But I mean, the problem is not I mean, the theme is also a problem, but it's like I think the bigger thing is also the author clearly did not think through how all this would play out in his story. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
this just kind of did it. You know what I mean? And then I think the veganism probably came from this idea of like he probably started out with like the whole monkey thing, but then he was like, how do I make sure this like sort of discrimination theme or whatever like fits into place properly? And then he took this like weird veganism thing and ran with it, and it
Yeah,
was very unfortunate.
I really don't understand why the author went with veganism. I don't know if the author like is vegan and is trying to like,
I think
or maybe he
I think
doesn't
he was
like
like
vegans. I
no
don't
no
know.
I think he was like I have to either pick some sort of like monkey related theme or I have to pick like lookism essentially
Yeah,
like
it's called you
him
like
being
do
like oh you look
a
like a monkey.
fucking
Yeah.
super virus from fucking 12 Monkeys, dude. There you go.
Bro.
You guys ever seen a monkey eat another monkey? Pretty brutal.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. But
But I think like that sort of thing, like he had to either go with the whole like, oh, you look like a monkey sort of discrimination, or he had to go with this like weird like veganism kind of thing, and he ended up picking the veganism thing.
I mean, the
So
weird thing is they start with they literally start with the, oh man, you look like a fucking monkey. What the fuck? Like, you
yeah,
What does
know,
yeah.
veganism have to do with killing another thing for survival? That's about
Oh, that
sustenance,
was
isn't
the
it?
other
Well-
that was yes, that was the other thing where it was like the whole idea because I brought that up as soon as Nier said that when he was watching it about the whole like if you kill the rat thing or
oh, with
whatever,
the
and it's
mouse
like
thing, yeah, like
that's
that
not
has nothing to
veganism
do.
at
Yeah, that
all.
has nothing to do with veganism, which is why
Like,
that like that being like the first kind of like, oh, you're vegan
because I'm like
argument
I
was
will lay
so,
down and let a bear fucking kill
yeah, it
me.
was
Like
just so bizarre because it's like veganism has nothing to do with like
Would you?
you putting your life on the same like equal footing as all animals. So, like it has to do with not wanting to, you know, exploit and abuse animals, right? Like, but if an animal was going to kill you, I'm pretty sure most vegans would defend themselves. Like it's not
Near,
like
would you rather be alone in the woods with a bear or a man?
Would you rather be alone in
probably
the
a,
woods with a bear or a vegan?
probably a humancy. Probably a humancy, I think.
Yeah, it's a very weird like way to kind of try to emphasize these sorts of like discriminate like the overall themes, right? Of like discrimination or whatever. It's a very weird way to do that.
Yeah, and then it's just like there's just so many. It just takes like the most like bizarre arguments like that you could possibly hear like from vegans or like against vegans or like whatever, and it like warps it into this like bizarre ideology for these the terrorist dudes. Because like again in episode like at like the end of episode 1 and the start of episode 2, they bomb this restaurant that's like filled with people, by the way. It's like open, and they end up killing a fucking small like a child. They put very much
Yeah,
very
well, that
big
child's a
emphasis on
fucking
the
meat
fact that
eater,
they
so
they killed the child, and like they show people in this terrorist organization being like, fuck man, like I kind of feel bad about killing a child. And then the leader is like, don't, they were fucking meat eaters anyway. And it's just like, okay, so
What?
are we
Okay.
like are we on, like, is this organization on the point where it's like human lives are worth less than animals? Like what are we doing? And then later on, that same guy that said that, um there's like a scene where they're trying to like, it's so dumb, but like, so there's this scene where there's three guys, and they're trying to kidnap Charlie, right? And in the lead up, when they're like staking out the house, the guy that said like don't even feel bad, the kid was a meat eater, right? Like he's like man, it really does not sit well with me that we had to kill that child. And it's like, okay, so does he regret it or not? Like it's so
Is he
bizarre.
just putting up a facade? Like, I guess.
Yeah,
Is
like I
that?
guess. Um,
Yeah.
but then it's like, again, an even dumber thing that I just remembered. Um, there's so like after um this terrorist organization does the bombing, right? Like the cops sort of start following Charlie around, with like they're saying, like the cops are saying that they're like trying to protect Charlie from this terrorist organization, but then the sheriff is like, yeah, back when Charlie was 5, my unit was deployed to protect him once before, and then they sounded the alarm. And when I went inside, him, even as he was a 5-year-old, he beat up like 6 armed cops. Um, and
Okay.
then the sheriff is like, he's too dangerous to be unsupervised or whatever. And so it tells the story of like Charlie is capable of like wrecking people's shit, right? Like he is a fucking like superhuman. He has fucking like ape strength times 10 or some shit. And he's also got like super hearing and super smell. And it's like, yeah, he can fucking wreck people's shit. And so it tells the story of how like when he was 5 years old, he took out like 6 armed men. And so
Okay.
this fucking leader of the terrorist dudes is like, okay, I know this story because I'm telling it to you, these other terrorist guys. I know this story of Charlie at 5 years old beat up 6 armed men. And so what we're gonna do is the 3 of us are gonna sneak into this house unarmed and kidnap Charlie. And it's like, what? What is your plan? And sure enough, they get their fucking shit rocked. And it's just like nobody in this series is
Is thinking.
smart at all. Like
Is
they just don't have
thinking,
any
doing
brain.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like completely retarded, like fucking just like caricatures that just like do shit for no reason. Yeah. Yeah, this show sucks. I will also say that Charlie himself is like a fucking sociopath. Like he generally doesn't like feel emotion. Um, they've like made a pretty big point to be like he doesn't, because like after the attack, like the one friend he has is like, yeah, like I'm really fucking like nervous and anxious because like she got wrapped up into it too.
Right.
And Charlie's like, what is that? Like what is anxious? Like what is that? And she describes it to him, and she's like, and he's like, I don't feel that. Like I literally don't feel that. Um, and then
Oh, yeah.
there's another scene where like he's in he's in like a lab and he's getting some tests done. Um, and he goes to visit like his biological mother, right? Like the chimp. Um, and he's basically like, as he's like looking at her, he's like, I literally have no emotional attachment to this person or this chimp like at all. And like everybody around him is like, that's weird. That's not normal. So he's like an obvious sociopath, and he like doesn't emote at all. And the voice line delivery is like completely monotone. Like there's no like emotion in his voice at all. And I'm kind of just like, am I supposed to like, am I supposed to be rooting for this character, or like, am I generally supposed to be like, am I supposed to be on the side of the cops of like this fucking like human chimp hybrid who very clearly doesn't feel human emotion, and is capable of just like killing anything in sight if he so desired.
Yeah.
Like, like am I supposed to be of the mindset like this dude is a fucking threat to everyone around him, or am I supposed to be like empathizing with this character in some way? Like it is genuinely like I don't really know what the series is going for with Charlie.
Mhm.
It's very
I
bizarre.
feel like part of it's also like if there was more obvious like character development and that sort of like focus on there instead of whatever this weird like eco-terrorism thing is, then it would have been obvious like, oh, he's a little bit off right now, but he gradually grows, right? Like he goes through the development a bit.
I mean,
He
I'm
does
guessing that's like the
he
idea, but they like they haven't really
yeah,
presented
exactly.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't actually
Um,
do it properly.
yeah.
So
Um, like they've obviously made a point to be like, he's not like fucking evil. Like he saves
mhm.
the main girl, and like a cat that are like falling out of a tree or whatever. And again, like when he's in the story of him like taking out these cops or whatever, he doesn't kill the cops. um
Mhm.
and it's kind of implied that like the cops probably like did something to provoke him into doing that. um but it's just like, I don't know, maybe like show that instead of alluding to it, like, you know what I mean? um it's just a very weird um dynamic that they've set up. And yeah, this show sucks.
Mhm.
It's kind of what I'm saying. It's really just not doing anything good in terms of story. Um,
Mhm.
yeah. Audio visually, I mean, it's serviceable. The animation is fine. The color palette is whatever. I will say
Mhm.
Charlie himself is like really kind of uh unsettling to look at. Um,
What do you mean by that? Like other than the monkey thing? Like what?
like regardless of the fact that he's got fucking a chimp's face, it's just like the way
Mhm.
they've kind of drawn. Let me see if I can get a decent screen cap of it.
It kind of
um
reminds me of a parasite in some ways, for some reason.
yeah, it's just like the way they've drawn his face to have like, he doesn't really have like you know like eyelids or eyelashes. He's kind of just like a mass of like smooth skin with like beady eyes. um
Smooth skin chimp is kind of weird to look at.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, if he had a bit more detail in him, and he looked probably more chimp-like,
Yeah,
I feel like it would be easier to humanize, in a way.
yeah,
But
he looks very like almost AI. Yeah,
yeah,
fun
he
man.
looks very like alien in a way. And I don't know if that's what they were going for necessarily. But it's like it is a bit like unsettling to look at, especially when they do like dead on shots of his face. But yeah, he's got a very bizarre look to him. And but yeah, other than that, I mean, the animation is fine. Belnox is doing a decent job, I guess. It's not exactly an action-heavy show, and the one time there was action, like I said, when these guys tried to kidnap Charlie, it was pretty well choreographed. It was a pretty interesting fight. It was like a hand-to-hand kind of thing where Charlie almost like rips this one guy's arm off. And when these guys are like trying to get around Charlie to like almost take his family hostage or whatever, he uses his kind of the fact that he's his fucking feet are effectively hands. He's able to like pull rugs up like from under the attackers and stuff, and it's a pretty cool fight, I think, and it's pretty well animated. But yeah, otherwise, audiovisuals are pretty standard. They're serviceable. They're nothing too nothing to write home about too much. The music as well is kind of whatever. The OP is "Make Me Wonder" by official Hige Dandism.
So his Higedan in there is actually
What the hell?
It's pretty generic, I want to say. It's not really
okay.
it's not really that interesting. The visuals are like your pretty standard, like panning shots, static shots, stuff like that. The song isn't necessarily bad, but it's pretty generic, right? The ED is "Turn It Up" by Akko. The song is okay, except for like the last 30 seconds are like this really bizarre like mumble rap bit that kind of just sounds like a guy that's like lost, and it's like senile and is fucking
what's happening in this series,
like just mumbling about nothing. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there's this. So like just skip to the last like 30 seconds of this, give it a listen, and it's just like, huh? Like this is part of the ED. Like this is in the ED.
If this was
And
part
it's
of
just
the
very
opening, I would
bizarre.
have lost it and it would have been done.
Yeah, like otherwise, it's fine. It's an ED. It's a lot of panning, static shots. The song, besides the ending bit, is okay. But it's just like it's just this very. It was like I literally thought like audio was playing in like a different like window or tab or something.
What is happening? What's
yeah,
happening right
Bro
now?
is just talking and he's not saying anything.
Yeah, like he's just like
He's just, like,
speaking into the
came in.
microphone, and he's like not saying like anything of
Bro's
substance.
having
It is just like
he's having
happening.
schizophrenic like
yeah, it is like a fucking like a
It's just
dementia
walking
riddled
around.
episode. Like like I don't know.
Oh my god.
Very bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the OPE and ED. Not the best. But yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this show is fucking strange. Genuinely, like, I don't know. Like, if it wasn't so like very obviously this is taking itself seriously kind of thing, I could play it off as like a almost like a straight man absurdist comedy. Like, it is that fucking bizarre. But that's very obviously not what this is. And it is taking itself seriously, and it is trying to be like a deep fucking philosophical seinen, and it's just like, dude, like, you're trying to do this about veganism? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, just a
I mean, even
series of
back to Mate, I don't know. It's very weird because it's like I think in terms of like if you just thought about it as like in the abstract, right? Like if the author was clever enough, that could be used potentially as a sort of, again, to cover these themes. But I think in terms of like if you connect it to what actual readers are looking at, right? It's just too far disconnected right now um between the stuff that people care about and are actually in conflict with versus like the stuff that they're presenting, right? Right now, like in the real world, readers are simply not invested into the ideas of something like veganism enough to be like, even as like a fictional set of conflicts, it's just like, okay, this is like a weird thing to use as a point of conflict for even a fictional series. So I think that's the issue.
Yeah,
So.
I just don't. I just don't get it. Like, if you wanted to do like fucking high schoolers debating about veganism, you could have made that. I guess you probably could have done that without him being half human, half chimp.
Mhm.
I also still don't. I generally don't know why they like what purpose to the like narrative him being half human, half chimp is like actually genuinely serving outside of like, oh well, that's why the terrorist organization wants him. He's half human, half chimp. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know,
What
man.
if? So near, have they thought about crossbreeding him with another sort of animal?
Um, I don't know.
I
They
think
haven't
that'll
gone into that.
be
They haven't gone into that
yeah.
yet. But I mean, for all I know, maybe. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like,
It's
what the
very
fuck,
weird.
dude? Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Um, yeah,
What other animals are we close to? Crabs?
no.
Um, but I guess any last words on the series?
Um, I feel bad for Atsumi Tanizaki who has to voice this fucking
You're like, this is such a waste of voice
emotionless,
acting.
yeah,
Yeah.
like emotionless chimp for fucking like I don't even I would assume 12 episodes. Um,
hmm
yeah, I feel kind of bad for her, to be honest, but whatever. A job's a job, I guess. Um,
Yeah.
but
What
yeah,
rating would you give it?
this show sucks. It's currently sitting at 6.73 on Mal, which is higher than it deserves. I'm not gonna lie. I did look into like the episode discussions on like the
Uh-huh.
Mal forums, because usually when I watch like a bad show like this, I just get like morbid curiosity of like who is watching this
How are
and like
people? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
not only who is watching this, but like who is watching this and cares enough to like talk about it
Who's
like in
justifying it? Yeah, yeah,
yeah like in a forum. Um, and like the only like praise I see for this show is people going like, "Huh, this is interesting. I'm interested to see where it's
yeah. The
going.
interest is there.
I'm interested." Um, but yeah, most people are kind of like, "Man, this sucks. Like the ideas it's presenting are really shallow and vapid. There's
Mhm.
really no nuance to any of like the arguments that are presented, like for or against, like the
Mhm.
veganism idea. The villains are presented as like just cartoonishly evil for no reason. Um, and yeah, it sucks. It's a series that is trying to present itself as like a philosophical and moral kind of like discussion that is like as
Mhm.
deep as a puddle. Um, and yeah, it's just it sucks. But yeah, in terms of personal rating, I'd probably give this a 2. Um,
Jesus
I
Christ.
I would give it a 1, but like I said, the audio visuals are like they're not bad. Um, you know,
Yeah.
obviously like Belnox tried here, but I just
Mhm.
think I can't imagine the source material for this is any better. Um,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think it's a very unfortunate thing that happened. Or yeah, I think the source material is probably the issue. It's just
yeah,
there's just I don't know. It was just due for the beginning if you were going to drive it that hard, and like, that sort of like set up. I think there could have been a way if the author was like super smart enough to really kind of try to pull that off. But beyond that, it's just I think it's a little bit too much. So, but yeah. Anyways, thank you very much, Nier. I think this one was like one of
Here, would
the
you rate
series
it?
that we probably
Two,
two. Yeah,
Two out of what?
like probably one.
Five?
10,
Five? Five
2
fingers?
out of 10, 2 out
How
of
many
10, bro.
fingers does Darwin have?
10, I'm pretty sure. Well,
Yeah,
now I'd say now he has none because he's dead.
yeah.
But
But uh, anyways, very unfortunate that this happened. Again, the source material could have probably been better, but it is what it is. So, thank you very much for helping to cover this. This is probably one of the series that we did want to try and cover, because it is one of the more unique premises, at least. But again, unfortunate that it
that's
happened this
true.
way, and unfortunate that despite the pretty decent voice acting cast plus the Hikidan OP opening, it kind of ended up this way, but it is what it is. This is the Darwin incident, also known as Darwin Jihen, manga original,
There's a lot of Jihen
adapted.
if you think about it. There's a kimono Jihen.
True.
There's a
Yeah.
Darwin
Well,
Jihen.
incident is a relatively common
Jihens
word
are
in like,
happening
titles,
every
right?
day.
Yeah.
There's a zombie Jihen.
Jihen could be happening near you.
Yeah, it's called the
but
polar
it is
Jihen.
yeah. This is Belnoft's Films. This is their first kind of main, hey, we're doing this as a prime contractor on producing this kind of work. But again, source material was a little bit unfortunate. So, yeah. All right. Well, then, thank you very much, Nier. And with that, we are finally done with the first round of reviews for our Winter 2026 season, or first impressions, whatever. And we are going to go straight into the news. I have a decent amount of stuff written up here, but I'm not going to go through like all of it. I'm just going to try to go through the important ones that I think is we should look at. Although there were obviously, because it's near what we last time we reviewed, it was just before the end of the year, and a lot of things do tend to happen around the end of the year, right? Especially company wise. So there are a lot of significant pieces of news, but I'll try to go through the ones that I think are probably the most important. First, and this should have happened already, Crunchyroll revealed an advertisement during its own free streams that is halting free ad-supported streaming on its service completely on December 31st. So at the end of December, they stopped all free streaming. That was ad-based. Crunchyroll previously had the thing where it's like for some anime series, for some episodes, you go watch it while going through ads. Now they're completely disabling all of that. Crunchyroll not being good was a thing that at least the people on this podcast already knew years and years ago, and this is only just like continuation of it, right? The service will become the actual service that people want to use, which is localized anime, will become just crappier and crappier. And in the meantime, they'll do stuff like release video game apps or whatever for some reason, or mobile game apps, or do more CrunchyCon or whatever it is they're
They're
doing.
also they're also airing unfinished versions of episodes now, so that's really cool.
Yeah, and they're all like AI, like TL'd and translated and all that crap.
Yep.
So yeah,
What's wrong with AI? Isn't she in Fortnite?
True.
True. So again, very unfortunate. Other pieces of news: Gainax formally has been dissolved after bankruptcy concludes. Obviously, Gainax had all their like problems, such as like I don't think it was fully money laundering, right? It was like a bunch of like stupid projects. There was like
Yeah, they were greenlighting a bunch
massive
of shit,
debts.
and then
Yeah, and then they had the duty free tomato stuff at the
Here.
airport and all that crap.
I mean, I think that was $1 billion idea. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, there was a reason why it was sponsored by Cool Japan. Okay, so
True. Only good things happen from Cool Japan.
good. Yeah, but yeah, mismanagement, budget scandals, Dynax again, a legendary company. Honestly, I don't think that's a stretch to say,
I don't know, man.
or a
What did
legendary
Gainax
studio.
do?
But
Not much.
yeah, not much.
Name two good ones.
Evangelion,
I've never heard of that.
and Maho Romantic.
Yes.
Oh, they did Abarabashi Shopping Arcade? Hell yeah.
True.
Yeah. but anyways, very unfortunate. Bushiroad ends its Bushiroad Games brand, which Bushiroad had a lot of pretty big games, but again, I guess it's spreading its work and staffing and float under other labels.
Wish you wrote
Toho,
sponsors Toho or Holofest, you know?
yeah, Bushiroad has its hands in a lot of stuff. Obviously, mostly people know it for their mobile games and their card games, but they still have their fingers in a bunch of stuff. Toho Studios, the Godzilla studio, right? As well as the Good Smile Company have teamed up for selling goods and like promotional work and stuff like that. Same thing with TMS Entertainment and a external Taiwanese company, Taiwan's R Animation. Netflix is meanwhile collaborating with Sony to stream their kind of theatrical releases and stuff. So that's a pretty huge deal, right? Working with Sony and Netflix. They have a multi-year pay-one agreement for Netflix to exclusively stream Sony Pictures films worldwide. So this is a little bit more of like a Sony advantage kind of thing. Sony kind of being like, "Hey, you should do our stuff," and then kind of Netflix getting sucked into that whirlpool.
Another step towards the death of the movie theater.
Yeah. Because obviously Netflix is quite big, but at the end of the day, in terms of like anime and like that sort of like streaming stuff, the two giants of the world are still Warner Bros. And Sony. So, Netflix is kind of just getting sucked into that deal. And Netflix is obviously the big one of the other big news is obviously Netflix and Mappa are doing collaboration. I believe Mappa is exclusively being streamed by Netflix, and then they're kind of working together to do stuff. Netflix. This is just like an explicit version or a kind of like a variant version of what Netflix has been doing for a while, right? Netflix has been hiring studios or being one of the main companies on the production committee team to produce anime, but they're just doing it more explicitly with Mappa. We'll see how this goes. I'm personally not a big fan of it. I think this is not like, oh, we get some more money or whatever, but it's not. This is essentially a soft version of M&As, right? Because it's not like the studios are really working perfectly as equals is how I want to put it with these publishers, right? At the end of the day, these publishers hold the purse strings, right? So they say partnership, but it's essentially more just like Netflix being like, hey, we have all this power, we'll pay you some stuff, but in exchange you have all these restrictions, right? So it's essentially the variant of Netflix having like an in-house studio, but without having to make an in-house studio, right? Or having to go through that M&A process. So I'm not personally a huge fan of this. I've never been obviously a huge fan of that sort of M&A happening, or sort of like, hey, we're just gonna swallow up companies and create our own like in-house anime stuff and do whatever. Um, but we'll see how this goes. What is this? BBCF, the British Board of Film Classification, has published a press release on its website with a headline: "Nearly 9 in 10 say anime poses a child protection risk if not age rated appropriately." They did like a survey that's like, is anime dangerous for our children? And it's like, yeah, all right,
I mean,
bro.
that's such a stupid fucking caveat, though, because it's like
It's a very like tautological kind of thing. It's like, is it dangerous if you don't put the
it's
warning sign on? It's like,
yeah.
it could be more dangerous. Yeah,
Is
sure.
alcohol dangerous if you don't tell people you
You don't
shouldn't
tell?
drink it when
Yeah,
you're still
exactly.
developing? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
So, yeah, I don't know. Some of these are
it's like,
very
is it
silly.
dangerous? Is it dangerous to publish a study that says like a glass of wine a day actually like improves heart health, but then you forget to mention the fact that you shouldn't drink when you're 8 years old? I don't know.
Mhm.
Sounds a little dangerous.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, that's a little bit silly. And then Japan Fair Trade Commission, the Japan FTC, published on December 24th its results of a survey conducted into the business environments for anime film industries. So, this is a lot of primary contractors between like the interactions between production companies and primary contractors, subcontractors, and freelancers, and so on and so forth. And um, obviously, they found a lot of like cancellations and stuff like that, especially on the side of the production companies and so on. So, um, essentially, most of the power is on the hands of the primary contractors and production companies. Surprise, surprise. And then there's little to no ability for negotiation in terms of subcontractors and freelancers. Again, not too surprising. And the survey also stated that the 89.4% of film directors and staff, as well as 52.1% of animators, said that they were not satisfied with their current pay, with many complaining compensation fell short of rising costs and so on. So the FTC is like spreading this news, but they only
Bro,
said that
what is this fucking 48% of animators that are like, yeah, I'm good?
I think I'm getting paid really well, and that they're eating like cheese spreads on the side. Yeah. Um, and then the worst part is this, though. The Japan FTC, along with other irrelevant government agencies, will also monitor the progress efforts of relevant businesses and will take, quote unquote, take strict and appropriate measures against any entity found to have violated the anti-monopoly law or other related laws. And the issue is, it's like there should be helping to create stricter regulations on cutting down the power that these publishing companies have, especially as these sort of like mergers happen more and more, right? Especially as these like publishers and so on, production companies, production committee people grow bigger and bigger. They should be helping to cut them down to size and restrict them from having so much power over the subcontractors, freelancers, and then also helping to subsidize these like overall universally subsidize these subcontractors or freelancers instead of doing their fucking art competition every once a year, paying one artist out of the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of artists in Japan, um, paying one artist $3,000 for a year to live in a shitty apartment, right? Like, yeah, there's so much like broad stroke stuff that they could be doing, and all they're doing is like, yeah, we'll make sure that these companies are like maybe following the law. It's like
We will be monitoring the situation.
yeah, closely. But it's very unfortunate. Some award stuff. Just because obviously like rankings and stuff like that come out yearly, right? Or at the end of the year, so on. Um, the Bookwalker Global Store released on Monday its top-selling volumes. Oh yeah, wait, this is for just for 2025 ranking. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Volumes for the period of November 1st, 2024 to October 31st, 2025. So top 10 titles on the service. Number one is The Evidence in Shadow. That just depressed me a lot. Number two is The Apothecary Diaries. Number three is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Four, I'm the Evil Lord of an Intergalactic Empire. Five, Secrets of the Silent Witch. From six, From Villainous to Healer. Seven, Reborn as a Space Mercenary. Eight, Trapped in a Dating Sim. Nine, Don't Toy with Me, Miss Nagatoro. And number 10, Mushoku Tensei. So, very, I think it's pretty awesome.
Pretty highbrow stuff.
Isekai. Yeah, complex isekais, right? Is what I was. Yeah, very isekai heavy set of reader demographics. What is it? A lot of like anime stuff. The Scarlet, that one movie, Hatashinaki Scarlet. If you guys haven't watched that, you guys should probably check it out. That was nominated. What is it? K-pop Demon Hunters. I guess that's like anime stuff too. Was also nominated. Chainsaw Man, Resi Arc, obviously, and Dan Dan Dan, and so on and so forth. A lot of the things awarded for annual awards these days, especially since a lot more of them are get like kind of popping into the mainstream consciousness. So Da-da-da. 19th Manga Taisho Awards nominate 12 titles. Again, Manga Taisho Awards, one of the kind of major manga related awards in Japan. A lot of these series are pretty decent. So again, if you see them, please do check it out. The nominees here are 妹は知ってる, 妹は知ってる, by Gangi Mari. Home at the Horizon by Watabe Taiyo. Kaiju o Kaibo Suru by Saito Mado. So sorry. Strike Out Pitch by Sumiyoshi Q. The Devils in the Lunch Deals by Ishiko. Danmitsu by Seino Toru. 友達だった人 Kinotamiya Sakahinshu by Kinotamiya. Miss Maison and the Man-Eating Apartment by Tanaka Ku and Akima. Honnaru Uruhodo by Kojima Ao. Ichi the Witch. Oh, I've heard of this one, yeah. By Nishi Osamu and Usazaki Shiro. Riot by Tsukada Yuta. And Robo no Fuji by Nabekurao. So again, Manga Taisho Awards are also the judges are not just like random people. It's like bookstore staffers, like people who are in those like manga whatever bookstores, like selling stuff every day and seeing those like titles and so on every day. So not just like nobodies. And that should be mostly it for the awards stuff. There's been a lot of movement, obviously, on the webtoons front. Naver Webtoons expanding, doing a lot of collaborations and so on. Somewhat similar to honestly what Crunchyroll and the others like do, right? Obviously, as we've discussed, I personally believe that this is like a bubble already, and the cracks are showing as is. But they're expanding anyways. Webtoon has expanded some of their creator programs. They have include improved monetization tools, new performance dashboard, and increased support for creator participation in conventions, and new career development resources. Obviously, no subsidies, just like a bunch of like random toys and trinkets. Disney and Webtoons furthering their collaboration by moving forward with their new digital comics platform. So that'll feature both current and classic comic titles from across Disney's portfolio. The lineup will include decades of content from Marvel, Star Wars, and 20th Century Studios. So essentially, Disney is taking their kind of like license and like series kind of stuff, and then just kind of plopping it on the technology, the Webtoon technology that Naver Webtoon already has. That's essentially what's happening. And then Apple and Naver is also collabing too. Korea is like regulating a little bit more new guidelines for like webtoons and web novels and stuff like that, to ward off against like hate speech and so on, which is good. And then Abema
You gonna
also
announce the Dragon Ball projects or no? It's still ongoing right now.
no, I haven't got that on my list. But Abema. So Abema TV is like one of the major Japanese streaming services currently online, and they have launched a project for indie animators. So it says called Project Prismation. Prismation. Project is collaboration with various creators, primary individuals or small teams who primarily produce web animation to create original anime pilot films. So they're essentially subsidizing some of these like small teams to create like proof of concept stuff, similar to like what Shaft and some like other studios have done in the past before like lead ups to art festivals and so on. But hopefully, this will help some of those like smaller animators out. And then last part is AI news. There's a Japan-China International Animation Film Festival that will be held in the spring of 2026, and it will have an AI animation category. I guess that's like
Awesome.
better than having AI animation sneak in, right? Probably just having like a containment section, right, in a sense. So I'm not like the worst. I'm not like super opposed to that necessarily, but we'll see how big it gets. Cygames itself is also establishing a Cygames AI studio subsidiary, which is a much worse news. Um, Cygames announced on Friday that it has established Cygames AI Studio as a subsidiary to research, develop, and provide secure and efficient access to AI technology for game creators. The company aims to "quote unquote" show the industry what creative minds can do with AI. The the issue is like we know that this is not going to stay as a research arm. This will in I'm going to say in like 2 to 3 years become sort of "quote unquote" the de facto main arm of like Cygames like
Less than
driving
that.
their
By the end of
games
the year,
forward
probably, man.
and the
You're gonna start,
anime,
start
yeah,
seeing
and
it
the
sneak
anime
into
forward.
shit.
And then the people are going to be like, "Oh, why don't you just make the big wigs are just going to be like, "Oh, why don't you just tell Cygames AI to make it?" And it's going to be really fucking bad. Like I don't know what else to say. It's going to be bad. Um yeah. So, we'll see. And then, yeah. So South Korea also, but on the flip side, South Korea has on Thursday introduced what it claims is the world's first comprehensive set of laws regulating AI with the "quote unquote" AI Basic Act. The landmark law is aimed at promoting the development of artificial intelligence while introducing safeguards for transparency and safety. Um, blah blah. So, under the law, companies that develop or provide AI models and services must clearly disclose AI generated content. This includes a watermark requirement for generative AI outputs with stricter visible labeling for deepfake style content. For formats like webtoons and animation, non visible, machine readable watermarks are allowed, easing concerns about disrupting the reading and viewing experience. Um, so I think this is so my personal opinion on this is that this is not this didn't really come from like AI art. This or like the recent kind of like discussion about the AI art. This, at least with regards to South Korea, in my opinion, has its roots in the deepfake scandals that it constantly had,
100%.
right?
For Korea, especially,
So
yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So the deepfake scandals made it so that the Korean like law people were eventually like, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. We need to make sure that at least like the worst of this shit is like covered, right? Um, but the issue is that, especially with bigger companies that are taking over, let's say, the creative industries, for instance, something like Native Webtoons, right? Um, just because you put a watermark in it doesn't mean you're gonna stop the sort of momentum, because what'll eventually happen is like, I mean, obviously, companies will find a loophole, right? Loopholes. But the more important thing is, eventually, companies will just be like, oh yeah, well, I mean, we'll put a watermark on it, but we'll still make like 80% of our content as AI, so you can't avoid it. So what are you gonna do? Kind of situation, right? They'll just tell the consumer, hey, yeah, we are making AI. What are you gonna do about it? Now 190% of our stuff is AI. You can't avoid it. And it'll just be AI slot forced upon the crowd, right? The consumer. And I feel like the laws have to make it kind of stronger to make sure there are newer regulations that prevent AI developers from just sucking up whatever data they want online, right? Especially with regards to art. Um, and B, and related, obviously, anti-plagiarism sort of regulations, right? And B, kind of there has to be some sort of like limitation on the usage overall of AI stuff. I think that has to be like a line that has to be taken somewhere. I don't think this whole like, oh yeah, we'll just make sure that there are watermarks thing is going to be really successful in the long run. Is, is what I'll say. So, um, hopefully, more regulations come after this. But we'll see. All right. With that sort of blitz through the news, we are finally at oh yeah, one more, I guess, person use, just small person use. Um Nagaigo has been introduced into the Hall of Fame, Eisner Hall of Fame. So anime, like comic, Will Eisner comic Hall of Fame. And if you don't know who he is,
Oh yeah, name 3 series.
Cutie Honey. He literally says all the article, Toast. Cutie Honey, Devilman, Mazinger Z, Getter Robo, and Haren Chikakuen. So,
Not even mentioning
obviously,
Kekko Kamen. How dare you?
yeah, I apologize, but yeah, he's done a lot of very famous, very iconic series that a lot of people, a lot of other series are inspired from. So obviously, well deserved.
Spire,
Um,
who would win in a fight, Osamu Tezuka or Go Nagai?
Someone, I think Tesco Sama is very high hurdle. It's a very high hurdle, right? There's a reason why he's the first ever, talking about the whole like Eisner Hall of Fame. That's why there's a reason why he's probably the first Japanese manga Hall of Famer. So it's very hard. Tesco Sama is a very high hurdle to clear.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, congratulations to Nagaiko. And obviously,
Why didn't you get one
hopefully,
before? It's like, come on, dude. Come on.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, um, that's pretty much it. And with that, we're gonna move on to our shout outs and call outs. Everybody here gets one shout out and one call out each. Shout out is something that you want to praise, 5 out of 5 stars, and it can be any one person, place, or thing. Call it as the exact opposite, 0 out of 5, anything that you want to rant about, and it can be any person, place, or thing. And we start out with Toast.
What?
Should I call, please?
Shout out. You know what? I'll shout out. Because that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Should I what?
Huh?
Wait, what did she shout out? We couldn't
You
hear
didn't
you.
hear it? Oh.
No.
No.
Oh, never mind. I don't want to say it anymore.
What?
What? Okay, what's your call out then?
You know who my call out is. Fuck you.
No?
Fair enough.
All right.
Okay.
My eternal call out is to you know who you are. You know what I'm gonna
Okay.
shout? I'm gonna shout out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shout out that multi-use pouch I'm gonna get.
All right.
Okay. All right then.
No,
What
no, 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 no.
about
I'm going to
your
shout out Dragon Ball. What is it? What's it called?
Arc something? Whatever. What is it?
Dragon Ball Genki Dama Matsuri. It's happening right
Hmm.
now. Hit me up with that Dragon Ball news. Near, you gonna Near?
Oh,
Which
the
one you want?
Galactic Patrol. That's what
You
it's
want
called,
Galactic
right?
Patrol or Beerus? I'll let you pick one.
No, I don't watch Dragon Ball anymore. Okay.
So you want Galactic Patrol?
Those
All
are
right,
all
I'll let you
yours.
have
Those
that.
are all yours, my friend.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Toast. And Near, shout out call, please.
I think I'll shout out. Yeah, shout out my Gacha Luck. My Gacha Luck's been pretty good lately.
Near, you gonna get that new
Okay.
Nikki? What's her
Nice,
name?
nice, nice.
What's the
Which
new
one?
one?
The stinky one?
Oh, the
Velvet.
book one.
You gonna get
Yeah.
Velvet Near?
I don't know. I don't really boot up Nikkei too much anymore. But
Yeah, I've been
I don't know,
booting up for
maybe.
Pilgrims. That's about it.
Yeah. But yeah, my luck in Zenless is pretty good lately. They were doing like a rerun banner, like a special rerun banner where like it has its own like separate pity from other banners, but like the way it works is the first like SSR you get is like guaranteed to be the raid up. And I ended up getting really lucky on those. I only had to spend like a
Near, how do you
handful of
feel
balls.
about English sub gotcha game, English dub gotcha games?
They're usually pretty bad. I will say Arknight's Enfield's English dub is pretty good. Surprisingly, it's got quite the varied set of accents. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, they're typically pretty bad, especially the fucking Hoyoverse ones. The Hoyoverse ones are really bad because they hire like fucking YouTubers and shit.
There's too much drama going on with the Hoyoverse stuff. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
because
they
they
also
keep
they also
hiring like
hire fucking
registered sex
pedophiles, but
offenders. So like,
you know, um, but yeah. As for my
yo, Twitch
call out,
streamer to Hoyoverse voice act.
yes, dude. Yeah. As for my call out, I actually don't know. Actually, yeah, I'll call out the inverse of my luck because I've been on a fucking crazy losing streak in Mahjong lately. It's pissing me the fuck off.
Oh, okay. Very unfortunate.
I think I've had like 15 games in a row where I place like third or worse, and it's just like fuck me, man. Sucks. But yeah.
Yeah. Very unfortunate. All right. Well, thank you very much, Nier. Dark, shout out call, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out. I'll give a shout out to Arknights Enfield. The game is fun.
Nice.
It's cool. I like its combat and stuff. I'm also going to give a call out to Arknights Enfield because the base building is freaking me out, and also I'm building an entire pylon thing from one area to another, and I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing that. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if you're supposed to be daisy chaining power lines across the entire map. I don't know if this is correct. But I'm doing it,
Fine.
and I'm halfway there. I'm going from one area to another, all the way back to the main base. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, if this works, it's kind of sick. But also, like, the game just kind of bombards you with shit to do. It's just like here's like 7 million
overwhelming.
upgrades and automation rather.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it freaks me out a little bit. But it's cool. I kind of hope that they don't make too many adjustments. Like, I hope they don't remove shit. Because that is another thing. Make that a pseudo call out. Because, like, I don't know. I've been a
Doubt
little
they will.
sad with. I've been a little sad with how much, like, streamlining something like Zenless has gotten over the years now. Where it's like. I feel like a lot of the games, like Charm and, like, Texture, kind of has been either removed or, like, instead of like enhancing some of the things that I thought were really fun about it, they just kind of were like, well, we're just gonna delete it, which is sad. After playing now Arknights and playing more Persona P5X, like, I think games could use a little bit gacha games could use a little bit of friction, a little bit of texture. Half of this shit doesn't even run on phones anymore anyway, so, like, you know, it's not like they have to worry about, like, oh, you can only play this for an hour during your train ride.
Right. Yeah. Very. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, Dark. And I guess I have to go last, but my call out, I'm gonna do call out first because I have it clearer, is to the events happening in the United States has made me a lot more, a lot more, how do I say this? Excited to try to get out of the United States and go somewhere else. So that's a thing, I guess. So call out to that. And then how do I shout out, I want to say shout out to my gacha log actually recently, because or not recently, but for specifically Musume in general, because my gacha log has been quite good, like for considering the gacha, like uh, considering all of the kind of like banners that I've pulled for, and my overall luck has been like I've like sparked like 2 banners in total, but everything else has been like below less than half spark. It's been like 1/3 spark, less than 1/3 spark. And usually within like the first kind of couple of tempos. So That's very good if you guys don't know. Like for a lot of people have come into the gacha scene, right? The gacha culture through Musume, and that's okay. But it's like a lot of these people, newcomers, are under this impression that like I don't know, like these gacha games should just be barfing up like SSRs left, right, and center. And while like I do want that, that would be cool to if that happened. It's also just not the reality. So usually you end up needing to do like at least 80, 90, 100 plus pulls to or half spark plus pulls to actually probably get the thing that you want. And so me not having to reach that point means my gacha luck is quite consistently good, at least for this game. So shout outs to that. But yeah, that was it for my shout out call out. And with that, we are finally done with our first episode of the Winter 2026 season. The first impressions, again, this is not our first episode is not really a full review because there was only like 2, maybe 3 episodes out usually. But first impressions, and then we'll be probably doing 4 more episodes after this, and then going into our spring preview shows. So watch out for that. If you do like what we do, we stream our podcast every other Saturday starting from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over at twitch.tv/4PlayerAnimecast. That's with the numeral 4, where we talk about the latest and greatest in Japanese animation media, anime, manga, light novels, web novels, visual novels, and so much more. So you can check out our VODs here, as well as highlights and so on YouTube. So whichever format you desire. We have updates and news on our social media platforms on Facebook, 4PlayAnimecast, on Twitter at 4PBAnimecast, and on Blue Sky, 4PlayAnimecast. So check us out there, check us out here, and as always, we'll see you next time.